Yeah, against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. Definitely thank you very much for tuning back in earlier than usual, people. I should have done this last night. I'm doing it 2 hours earlier than I normally am. I don't know if I'll be live at 11:30 a.m. because there's nothing to speak about, but I'll be live at 3 p.m. So make sure you're following on Twitch. I hope you're doing well and safe. And let's go again, people. Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning to those of you in the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and even in some cases, good night. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. Please make sure you've subscribed. If you haven't already, slap the like button. Get your opinions in and all of those sort of things. It appears there's been a significant breakthrough in relation to Martin Odegaard, or the signing of Martin Odegaard, which we're going to get onto shortly, people. I'm sure you've all got your opinions. Please let me know where you're at with that. Admittedly, people, I still need to load up a couple of 1-2 bits and bobs, if I'm completely honest with you. Let me actually make sure that I've got the actual athletics article here, because I'm pretty sure I did this last night, but I was half asleep, literally. Like, I went to the toilet in the middle of the night, and then I'd sat down in my room and done this quickly and then went back. So yeah, we'll have to see what's going on. I think we've done it. Oh, no, we ain't. No, we ain't. Let me send that to myself as well. Sorry, folks. We'll get your opinions and them things in. But yeah, man, we've got to set things up. Personally, I'm happy to see that we're allegedly confirming the signing of Martin Odegaard, because I've said it yesterday. You know, Arsenal fans are a weird bunch, because their bars on the floor. You know, this is a fan base who was wetting their pants over Ceballos because he did a little flick. You know, they've wet themselves about Odegaard, and then they've turned on him. Personally, I think it's a very good signing. It's down to him if he wants to be a signing that pulls up trees and things. For what I see with Odegaard, he's 22, turning 23 in December. You've been from 16 up until now. You've been in that halfway house. You've been at Chelsea. You've been at Sociedad. You've been at Vitesse. You're obviously owned by Real Madrid, and it hasn't happened. And now you're ready to take the leap, concede that my Real Madrid dream. It's not over, because if you play well at 23, who knows? If you play to the potential that initially got you there at 23, who knows what the outlook is saying at 26? They might buy you back. You know, Madrid are a funny club. But this tells me he wants to grow. This tells me he wants to be important. This tells me he actually wants to be somewhere he can play. And at 23 years of age, to have someone who can play as a 10, who can do a job as a wide playmaker, for me, can play as an 8. It doesn't break the bank, but it addresses an area. I'm all for it. For me personally, the only downer I can see with the signing of Martin Odegaard is we're only going to be as attacking as the manager. Just because we have signed him does not mean we're going to start unpicking defenses. I'm sure many fans would just like to see us score more goals, create more chances, have more shots on target. We're only going to be as good in that regard as the manager. You know, you've got a good, because you're not seeing anything from a tactical point of view to suggest it's as easy as get the players in. And let's be honest, we finished 9th for attacking metrics. We should not be there. So you've bought Odegaard now. You've obviously got the front men. You've got SMITH-ROWE, where I'm obviously happy that what's the word for it? Kind of spreads the burden and the workload away from SMITH-ROWE and elsewhere. But we're only as good as the team's mandate to go forward. Two man can't solve this. How many times last season, not too many, but how many times was SMITH-ROWE and Odegaard on the same pitch and we still looked a bit disillusioned? I'm happy for it, but at the same time, we can't just look at it like that. Allow me to copy and paste this from the Athletic, people, because obviously I didn't copy all of it. So yeah, man, let's get your opinions and them things in. I think I'm all ready to go now. Let me actually copy and paste that. Let's set a timestamp for Martin Odegaard. Before we get in, we might as well just have general opinions on Odegaard before I get into that, because again, I want to take in what you lot are saying. Odegaard opinions. For me, like I said, man, the crucial thing for me with Odegaard, on top of what I said about, we're only going to be as attacking as the manager, it's how good you use the tool. You can buy a PS5. The PS5 is no good if you haven't got a TV, or if you've only got a pad. If you ain't got a charger for the pad's going to die. You can't play it. That's the sort of thing. Arteta's got a component now. Show me something, because the creative burden cannot just be on SMITH-ROWE, cannot just be on Odegaard, cannot be on two players. You have a tool, you need to know how to utilize it. And for me, you've got a player now where we know there's some talent there, but he's going to turn 23. So he's not the finished article. How are you going to make him, reach some of his potential he allegedly had to get him to get to thingy Real Madrid. The same way Ben White, technically a couple of months older, but at the same time, he's not the finished article. Gabriel's not the finished article. Smith-Rowe's not the finished article. Saka's not. Balogun's not. So it's all about how the manager can improve them in the short, medium, and long term. And I'm happy with signing Odegaard because obviously it ties into the long term. The greatest criticism and the best praise I can give Odegaard for me as a fan is that I think he looks like an Arsenal player. When things are going right, I think he looks good. When things are going poorly, I think he looks like an Arsenal player. There has been times he's shown leadership, but I don't quite think I wouldn't describe him as a leader. He's one of them leaders. You need your Tony Adams and things, and you can have your confidence that Martin Odegaard will do what needs to be done in that regards, man. I like Odegaard. Obviously, he can pick a pass. He can dictate the tempo of a game, provided that the circumstances are right. He obviously addresses an area we need. Of course, there's still a lot of question marks. Goals and assists. I'll cut him the slack of he joined halfway through the season. It is difficult. But goals and assists is what he's going to live or die by. If you cannot get goals and assists, then for me, you need to control the game. When I'm watching Arsenal, the game's running through you. Because we used to have that, and it weren't necessarily world-class players that were doing that at the time, people. Obviously, it gives us a lot of options. You can flirt between either one, Smith-Rowe or Odegaard. Hopefully, I see an even better Smith-Rowe because, as I said, you've got a target on your back when you're number 10 at Arsenal. Same way if you're number 7 here or elsewhere. These are positions the club should always be looking at. So not only does it help the workload, there's obviously competition for places. And obviously, Smith-Rowe or him can be used out wide. Obviously, both could probably be used centrally as well, or either or. People need to understand it's a squad game. So hopefully there's a lot to be said. And, I think people criticize his leadership qualities. You need to remember at 22, he's made some brave decisions and he is the captain of his country. So I don't agree with a lot of the criticisms, Again, I think there is a good base level of Odegaard, but as I keep saying, no disrespect to Maddison, you would think Maddison is top 5 players in the world, and you would think Odegaard can't play in League One just based on the language that some Arsenal fans are carrying on with. So it is what it is, man. I think it will be good for Smith-Rowe because creative players always play better with better creative man. How you're going to see a better Grealish because he's linking up with Foden and all of these players. Creative players play a lot better when they're with creative players as well, and I think there's a real lack of them. So I think they will help each other. They will help each other, man. Yeah, I believe Smith-Rowe and Smith-Rowe can coexist, man. They can coexist together. And again, I don't want to talk injuries into existence, but injuries are a real thing, as you lot know. It's all fun and games until there's an injury to a player, and then things are put into perspective. I hope Odegaard isn't coming here for an easy ride. I hope he's not coming here because there's mad expectation at Real Madrid and there's not here. And some of the things you can do at Madrid, at Arsenal, it's not really a case. The key thing is clearly you believe Arteta is doing doing his thing. You think he can improve. You think he's the best place for you. So give him a healthy environment, give him a team to thrive him, and then it's just down to Odegaard. Like I said, the man is turning 23. It's now time to start showing that greater consistency. He's got the footballing IQ. He's got the ability to potentially assist. He can improve in the goals department. He does press quite well. The ingredients are there. It's just about harnessing it, developing it, making it better, and ultimately more consistency. So we'll see what it is, people. Before we get into the actual paper reports and whatnot, people, let me take in what you lot are saying. One love to everybody's here. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribing, and all of that good stuff, people. Let me actually check my YouTube live. Pause. Here we are, 74 likes. So we're not off to the worst of starts. DG needs to reach 40k today. Are we that close? Hopefully. One love to everyone who's subscribed already. If you haven't, do up that one. Mr. Adlib23, hope you're on the mend after the COVID stuff, my dude. You said whoever thought Arsenal was going to sign the more expensive option clearly don't know Arsenal very well. Very happy with Odegaard. To be fair, exactly. We all knew for several reasons why. I don't think the Maddison file was closed, but, I can't see us getting both. And like you said, it comes down to the cash. Odegaard is cheaper than Maddison. Leicester want to keep Maddison more than Real Madrid want to keep Odegaard. Odegaard's former club, Real Madrid, or soon to be former club, are broke. So we're able to leverage these sort of things. And obviously, that money that we could or couldn't save with Odegaard, allegedly, that could be used towards, throwing a bit more bob towards, whether you agree with it or not, getting the move over the line for Aaron Ramsdale. And who knows, there might be another target. Hopefully, we're going for a right back. Hopefully, the club can just surprise the fans with something. But I just think it's not enough. My fear with Odegaard is, I know he is very much the modern 10 by many metrics. But for me, I class him as I don't think he's in the bracket as Mesut Ozil, but these poetry emotion number 10s, these dying breed ones, these dying arts. And my biggest fear at Arsenal, with Arteta first and foremost, is you haven't shown me an attacking system. So how can an attacking player thrive? It's down to him to sort that out and put my fears to bed as a fan. But also, I believe anyways, and I keep saying it and I sound like a broken record, when you've got a number 10, these organic ones, not these, and he can press, I personally believe to get the best out of them, you've got to double down on them. And that's having consistent movement in front of them, having the, getting the understanding with the front three working, getting good relationships with the right back and the forward, so that there's space opening so that my man can do his thing and have several options. Obviously behind him, how we play out from the back, how the pivot behind Odegaard makes the difference. And I think there's one too many question marks over several things along these lines. So how can my fears really be put to bed? But I'm really happy with the signing of Odegaard. I get why some fans might feel a sense of underwhelmingness or underwhelmment because he was here for 6 months. He didn't really set the world alight, and it's not really like he's, it's like he's been here. It's not like it's a new signing. And obviously, whether Maddison's worth 70 million at the time or not, it would have looked like more of a statement to the club. It would have been more of a gases. It would have made more headlines and stuff. But either player is good. We'd love both. As long as Odegaard can do what he's paid to do and what he's made a career of, then personally, I don't care. I think we've got a good player on the books, people. And it's just down to him to prove people wrong. And to be honest, that's what I want to. I want to see Odegaard come here with a healthy chip on his shoulder. I want to prove Real Madrid wrong. Want to prove certain Arsenal fans wrong. Want to prove the footballing world wrong. Want to really show what he can do, because we've shown little bits and pieces. He's been on the scene since 16. He was okay last year. He really made a name for himself, for me, in the footballing world at Sociedad. He didn't have the worst of loan spells at Vitesse, but he's not pulled up any tree. So for me, I want to see him come here with a different mentality and be serious. Just the same thing I demand of everybody, because I'm not being funny. We finished 8th. You're seeing the start to the season. You know the backdrop of what Arsenal is. We haven't got time to play about. If we play about, it will get worse. So hopefully he's on a mission. I hope he's not here to, it's a holiday camp. It's a little kid that's a bit spoiled. And, his dad always tells him he's the best thing since sliced bread. I hope you're not coming for that. I really hope it's not. Odegaard strikes me as a player. You do need to put an arm around him and keep telling him how special he is. And that's one thing that does concern me about any players in the modern day, because you should have that level-headedness to know when things go wrong, I'm not as bad as they say. When things are going right, I'm not as good as they say. And I think Odegaard is like that, but I just feel he's an arm around the shoulder sort of guy. He's a guy that, if things aren't going his way for 3 or 4 games, he's going to doubt himself. And, Arteta must know that. Obviously, he signed for Arteta, so he believes this is the best place for him. So let's see how it develops, really and truly. 1 second, people. I don't know why. I can see the brightness of my light has gone up. It's like there's a ghost in here. What's all of that about? What the hell? What the hell is all that? Sorry, people, I'm back again. But yeah, that was a bit weird. Maybe that's Odegaard's ghost saying something to me, because the lighting just increased and I didn't press a damn button. But it is what it is in that regards, people. Let me see what you guys are saying now, as I keep saying I'm going to do. Thanks for being here as always, DGP Mav. One love for you being here and everybody else, because it would be pointless me being here if nobody turned up. I appreciate it. One love to the 300 odd of you that are locked in. Please make sure we're hitting the like button and doing all of those good things. We're at 103 likes. There's over 200 of you who have sadly not hit that like button, but it is what it is, man. Odegaard isn't a terrible acquisition. I just feel like we're back where we started. People mention 3rd best form in the league since he joined. Is that enough to convince us? Not for us. I mean, Arsenal's form can never just be off of one player. I do think Odegaard isn't a player that's going to sit there and, we're going to the next level now. Like, he's lifted it. But I do think he's a player or a role that we needed. I do think he's a decent player. And yeah, man, the correlation with 3rd in the league, it don't really apply to Odegaard. It's more the fans burying their heads in the sand and thinking we've improved where we have not. We should have sorted out our midfield first before dicking about with 80 million on a centre-half and number 2 goalkeeper should Ramsdale happen. To be fair to you, I 100% agree in the sense of the midfield needs to be addressed. But everything you said, I'd describe as the spine of this team. Now, granted, with Leno staying, it probably looks a bit more gazy. I did think we needed to address the middle of our defence, the centre of our defence better yet, as much as the middle of the park. So yeah, man. One love, Josh. One love, Jaden. Filthy Gears, what a name. But like he said, slap the like button, people. One love to everybody locked in. Odegaard, Maddison. Odegaard, Madison, Odegaard. I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't really care, man. I would have loved either or. I would love, I'm happy with Odegaard. I would love Madison. I think the two could coexist. It is what it is. As long as Odegaard, is able to hit the ground running, I don't really mind. I'm gonna, Arteta. You've had him for half a year now. You should know him. You wanted him. Allegedly, he was a top target for you. Make him thrive. Make him thrive. Give him stuff to thrive with. And I believe if you look at Arsenal's midfield, you can't honestly believe we're set to thrive. But one love from Bulgaria as well, Pat. So I appreciate that. Believe it's a good signing, but we defo need more. That's facts. Shout out DG for the consistency. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Laura Woods on TalkSport saying he's not worth 30 million. What? The price tag should never be in question. It's a bargain. He could be 3 times that in years to come, but is it progress? That's the debate. I mean, Martin Odegaard alone is not going to be progress. I think people really sleep on his ability, his scope to grow, and his ceiling. But at the same time, he's not a signing that's gonna, galvanize the club like Alexis and Ozil did. He's not gonna change games on his own. He needs a system to thrive. Like you said, 30 million's a bargain. And in terms of longevity, you could hardly do much wrong. You would imagine even if he stays sideways, you're making your money back. Arsenal have made a lot of terrible transfer decisions, both this season and many a years. This isn't one of them. And obviously, I don't know what Laura Woods or any of them people on Talkshite have said, but they're kings of playing an ignorant devil's advocate. They're the belly of the same beast. They criticize a lot of fan channels. They're just for engagement. Don't listen to them things if you value your brain cells, because I'm pretty sure listening to that, you probably got a headache and you deem that you've lost a couple. But it is what it is in that regards, man. It really is. Big up DG, 100 away from 40k. Make sure you're hitting that like button if you haven't already and subscribing. Odegaard in. I'm glad now. On to the next signing. Looks like it will be Ramsdale, though. You know what? Ben White would not have been my first choice centre-half target. Ramsdale is definitely not my number 2 keeper, earmarked to be number 1. Odegaard, it is what it is with Odegaard, but I'll give them all the blind, man. They all deserve our support as fans. And I mean, whatever we say about Kroenke and things, you're looking at it now, what? That's 30 on Odegaard, 30, 40, similar sort of fee for Ramsdale, 50 million on Ben White. You're looking at 100 plus million when you factor in a couple of the other things as well, and assuming our window's done. I'm not saying it's a madness. I'm not really saying this much, but Arteta's got to stop acting like, woe is me and I'm crippled and I don't have any P's. You're mismanaging. Like I said, Ramsdale is 23. Clearly, there's a mandate to find younger players or players that have resale value, scope to provide longevity, or scope to really tie in long term, like the manager, allegedly, if all variables are hit. Ramsdale, you need to show me progress in him. How are you going to take him from being on the cusp of the England team to stepping up? How are you going to make Odegaard what the football world has been waiting for, that he's one of the best or a very good playmaker? How are you taking Gabriel and Ben White to the next level? Tavares is a bit of a squad player. How are you going to make him a competent option? How are you taking Lokonga to the next level? Smith-Rowe, off half a season, has been given the number 10 and had five assists in the Prem. And he's just overall importance to Arsenal is great. That's great. How are you going to confirm that stays throughout the whole of the next season? How are you going to confirm Smith-Rowe gets better? It's down to the players as well, but it's down to the gaffer. And I feel we've got a lot of, even if we was to even sign Tammy Abraham, you've got a lot of these players that have quote unquote potential, can go up a level, but they need serious work. And one has to wonder how much single hands-on time can Mikel Arteta dedicate to these individual players, because we still need to get 3 points. And I'm not using that as an excuse, because you need to delegate to members of your staff. If you don't trust your coaching staff, why are they not there? Think about it logically, people. If you just said, DG, I need you to improve your first touch, but I'm doing the collective training session because we've got Chelsea on the weekend. I ain't really got time to do the one-to-one thing. We'll do our collective thing. You might say, hey, Joe Blogs, after, go off with DG and work on first touch and whatnot. And obviously these things are being done, but I need to see a bit more of a different approach, because I don't see significant improvement. We've actually brought in some new scouts. We hear there's literally a couple of coaches on the Arsenal coaching staff whose jobs are to find individual areas of improvement with players. Delegation is key. I get the vibe with Mikel Arteta that he tries to do everything, and ultimately when you try to do everything, you really don't do a thing, really. So it is what it is. DG, does this mean Smith-Rowe will be drafted into the left wing? Both Smith-Rowe and Odegaard would be used out wide as well as in the tennis. A long season. And yeah, man, that's what I believe. DG needs to reach 40k today. We hope so. Yes, DG, big up yourself for the balance and well thought out content. The family, I appreciate that, man. I really do. Not wanted, another reject. He didn't do anything on loan. Let's be real. Is he leaps and bounds above Smith-Rowe or Saka? It's a no from me. Dermot, you know, everybody's allowed an opinion. You know, I do think he's probably ahead of Smith-Rowe if we're honest with ourselves in terms of football. But Smith-Rowe is one of the first names on the team sheet. I agree, doesn't dislodge him. I wouldn't say he's a reject. And even if he is a reject, you know, he could hardly do a lot worse. And I just think that reject stuff just comes from a place of ego. To say he didn't do anything on loan isn't exactly true. He wasn't amazing, he wasn't poor. The balance of he probably did underwhelm a bit, but there were a number of good moments. And like I said, where Odegaard is concerned, it's just down to him to prove you wrong. I'm not saying you will, Dermot, but there's a lot of Arsenal fans who wet their pants if he does an amazing skill and it gets clipped up on TikTok and things. So, you know, I just hope he can prove people wrong. And that's all many people want, man. And I'm also surprised at this. Kind of surprised some Arsenal fans have completely turned their back on Odegaard. Weren't they calling for Mesut Ozil in January? Seeing some fans can't rate Maddison without completely dismissing Odegaard. Exactly. And they're overrating Maddison. Like, Maddison's wavy, but man, I'm moving like he's, you know, he's top 5 players in the world. Like, is he top 5 English players right now? I hope he is. But is he? You know, he could be. You know, but on the 18th of August, can you undoubtedly say that? I think he's got scope to be. But this is the thing, when people like players, they start gassing it. And they did it with Shabazz. Like, man, do it with AOUAR as well. And there's many of others. But it is what it is. Smith-Rowe and Odegaard only play together if one is on the wing. The manager is very negative. Competition for places, man. You know, I want to see, really. Considering he had 6 months to understand this league, I think he'll show even more. Solid signing, in my opinion. It's down to him, really. Can't lie, I'm not inspired at all, but man's going to support the team. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Odegaard isn't making me think, wow, oh my God, we've signed Martin Odegaard. I'm happy because I think he's a decent player. I think he'll have scope to prove himself. I think, you know, with a full season, we could see something. I don't know if he's going to electrify the Premier League and do all of them sort of things. That's down to him. I don't quite think he's going to do that. But as long as he can be a good player for Arsenal Football Club, if I'm completely honest with you, I don't give a monkeys. Like, I really don't give a monkeys. So it is what it is in that regards. Not mad at the Odegaard signing, but I just want him to progress. Still want to see a number 8 right back and the goalie come in. Find Edu and tell him to sign AOUAR and Onana. They make the most sense. I can't lie. I think our fans gas Onana as well. I think we'd have the same problems we do with Leno, personally. But we can't afford it. It's a scouting thing or buying these top quality keepers, neither which we seem to be able to do. Martin will always do his bits no matter what the team looks like. If he gets the bill, he'll do his thing. I think the whole squad will need to up their game for us to appreciate him better. The whole squad needs to appreciate, you know, up their game so we can appreciate them individually a bit more. But 100%. Big up DG in the morning therapy. Thank you for this, DG. Jamal, appreciative of that, man. True, though, I can't really judge him under Arteta. We need a better manager. I hear what you lot are saying, but we can, man. We can. I think I'm scared for every attacking player under Mikel Arteta, and I hope he can prove me wrong because I see underperformance, but in them individually, and they all need to take responsibility. But I don't see a mandate to actually put the ball in the back of the net. It sounds stupid, but at some level, you've got to want to win the game. You look at Spurs; they respected City, respected the threats that they had, and whatever, and knew that we can't match them for football. But when we counter, let's do our thing. We do that. It doesn't feel like Arsenal, you know, and they beat Chelsea. And there's Leeds who have been on the front foot a bit more and have done things. You don't get the vibe that Arteta wants to win a game in football. And what I mean by that is we're not trying to put the ball in the back of the net. We get to the final third, we're passing and dancing and pussyfooting around the goal. You know, if it was a very attractive girl, you're sitting there and you're going, should I talk to her, should I not, should I talk to her? Your friends are saying do it, you're not doing it, she's gone, or a next man has jumped in and swooped it and the number's gone and you just look like a waste man trying to get some sloppy seconds. We don't have a plan. There's no coincidence that we're 9th for goals, we're very low for chance creation. Goals win games, we struggle to score. You know, how many times were we actually as shit as we are now, but we was able to score and you're kind of scrumming through games? You look at Bruno Fernandes. United weren't amazing last year. There was times Bruno would put the ball in the back of the net, they'll get 3 points and it'll help them. How many times has goals been the difference between a team winning the league, getting relegated, or a mid-table finish? Goals win games. Defense wins titles. Our defense is shaky. Anyone that really thinks we've got the third best defense in the league based off last season is a dickhead. Pardon my language. I can't lie. I'm sorry. I respect everyone's opinion, but I respect you lot, so I have to demand you respect yourselves. You lot are smart enough to comprehend that that defense is not levels. It's not the third best defense in the league. I hope it can improve, but it's not. We're burying our head in the sands. And right now, what scares me is every player is, as I said yesterday, players are half the job. Under Mikel Arteta, I need to know, when you're provided with these tools, are you going to thrive with them? I don't want you to blame other things. You've got your creative man. Well, now I'm looking at that midfield pivot. Because if you can't sort out Xhaka and Partey, or Xhaka and whoever, or Partey and whoever who's going to do that, who's going to give the ball to Odegaard? You're going to see what you've seen used to happen to Santi, happen to Ozil, actually happening to Smith-Rowe now. You're having to receive the ball continuously past your own halfway line. And suddenly, when you're doing that, the opposition don't mind. If I'm a defender and I can see Smith-Rowe, whose strengths are getting into little pockets and driving that man, I'm cool. If I can see Aubameyang and throw a hat over him, or throw a blanket, I'm cool. When you ain't got no movement, when your team's dropping deep and your strikes are out the game, you can see how we're almost setting up negatively against ourselves. So, boy, it's down to Arteta. You've got the tools. Make it work, because really, as rubbish as Arsenal are, he should be showing a lot more. Let's keep it real. We need to have balance in this, man. Go ahead. Absolutely madness. Special player with the right training and exposure. In 8 to 10 games Odegaard played, he has better stats than Maddison, even in terms of passing in the final third. If he played at Brentford, I guarantee Balogun would have had more touches on the ball. He might have, but I don't think so, bro, purely because them two, bro, the defense don't, when you've got that defense playing out from the back to the level they are, and the midfield being as scared as they are, with exception to a couple, I think they're all going to struggle, man. And for me, with Martin Odegaard, I want him to get goals and assists, but like I said, the very thing I will let him hide behind, if he can control games. And I need to see him control games. I need to see you look like a leader. You should be a young man leader amongst other young men. Again, I'm not looking at you to win games by yourself single-handedly, but you get the point. Pardon me. One love to all the engagements and whatnot, people and things, man. I appreciate everybody locked in. You lot are saying some interesting comments. Don't stop them coming and things like that. Appreciate that, man. Hopefully we can bag 40k, man. But yeah, on that topic though, I think it's time to actually look at the actual information and the talking points, and actually what's saying we're being linked with Odegaard. Now, there are rumors he could play against Chelsea, but in relation to a fee actually being agreed, medicals being done, clearly if we're trying to make it play against Chelsea, things can accelerate very quickly. But I haven't seen any of that. But for what it's worth, it's time to get into all of this, people. Now, let me share my screen with you guys. Let's start with the Athletics article that I copied and pasted. One love to the 600 odd of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button, folks. Again, no more signings if you don't hit that like button. Shame on you guys. We're at 210. There's around 400 of you who haven't hit that like button. If you have not hit that like button, Odegaard is where it stops. Mikel Arteta is signing a new deal, and Arsenal ain't going nowhere. But as you lot can see here, Arsenal close to agreeing a deal with Real Madrid for permanent transfer of Martin Odegaard. Although a deal has not yet been finalized, it is understood that Odegaard did not train with the main first team group at Real Madrid on Tuesday ahead of a possible transfer. We all know he returned to Spain after a 6-month spell with Arsenal, where he made 20 appearances and got 2 goals. Arsenal are close to agreeing a deal with Real Madrid for the permanent transfer of Martin Odegaard. As you lot can see here, people, though a deal has not yet been finalized and he didn't train, apparently there's a possible transfer in the region of 35 million euros. So pounds makes that a bit less. So you could hardly do much worse than that. The Athletic understands Odegaard could feature for Arsenal's game against Chelsea on Sunday, but it is believed there's still a fair amount of work to be done before the deal is completed. Again, scrolling all the way down, we know he's not really done bits in pre-season. We know he made 20 appearances for Arsenal. We know he's been at Madrid since 16-17. We know he made his debut in 2014 for Norway, so I'm not really in all of that. But apparently, on why Arsenal are targeting him, Arsenal have tied Smith-Rowe down to a new long-term contract, but still look light in the attacking area. And that's it for me. 2 men fighting for each other, because, Smith-Rowe and Odegaard can be used together, or it's either or. It's your spot or mine. I've come from Real Madrid. I've signed for 30 million euros. I need to play. I've just been given Arsenal's number 10. I'm trying to get England call up. I'm trying to continue the story. I'm trying to play. Everybody's fighting for that spot. We've got better players. And I believe it takes the creative burden off Smith-Rowe, because I don't think it's fair to Smith-Rowe, to Saka, even now, because nobody's fit, Balogun, to expect these lot to shift this club forward. They can't do it alone, man. You know, it's a bit of a madness. In that regards, people. But moving forward, since last season, they have effectively lost the on loan Odegaard with a replacement yet to arrive. We also know Joe Willock left the club, and I wonder how much of Joe Willock's peas went towards this. Although both Real and Odegaard have spoken of the player as an important part of the plans at the Bernabeu, Arsenal are yet to give up on signing the man who began their summer as their number one target with good reason. So, yeah, man, Arsenal were clearly hoping that this is what would happen. They were, you know, it would have left us in a lot of problems, provided, you know, he did get the fairy tale when, you know, Carlo did play him and things, but we were clearly open to this. And we spoke about this before. We said, you know, we spoke about this, and we said they're probably going to just double down on Ramsdale and Odegaard and just keep it moving. Houssem Aouar had been discussed behind closed doors at Arsenal. Despite lengthy talks last summer, Arsenal failed to agree a price with Lyon, instead opting for Thomas Partey. The economic situation currently affecting French football, however, did present an opportunity. Even if some at the club harboured concerns over Aouar, there was an acceptance that at around 25 million euros, he would have represented an excellent opportunity. The North London club are believed to have inquired about the possibility of taking him on loan. Arsenal have also been linked with a move for Maddison, but while the player does have admirers within the club, he is not someone the Emirates side are seriously pursuing at this time. Middlemen, intermediaries, I can never say that word, but the middlemen in football are believed to be keen to matchmake Arsenal with Maddison because they would have made a healthy buck. So that's where the Maddison one there is. I mean, it just says it. We, in relation to Aouar, that's what we knew in it. We know we have an interest in him. We know allegedly we tried to offer a permanent / loan offer this summer. We know some people rate him at the club, some people don't. If Arteta does and Edu does, which Edu might not because he went for Partey, even though you needed both, not either or, get it done. 25 million euros for me. Odegaard and keyword and Aouar are better than just James Maddison personally, because you've got a partner for Partey. I've always said I would rather an 8 than a 10 all summer, because I think that's where the modern day is, and I don't think we're going to see a proper Partey until we see clarity over what's going on. So yeah, that's that in relation to Odegaard, people. If we look at this, people, this is what I saw yesterday from a journalist primarily out of Norway. There's been a significant breakthrough in negotiations between Arsenal and Real Madrid for the permanent Martin Odegaard transfer. Barring an unlikely turn of events, he will crush the Norwegian transfer record. Arsenal hope to have him ready for Chelsea on Sunday. So I know he's been doing pre-season with Real Madrid. He'd probably be on the bench. As you lot can see here, Arsenal set to side Martin Odegaard from Real Madrid and target Ramsdale. The fee is alleged to be around £34 million. Now, at a time where we're broke, at a time where COVID's involved, I can't really get at that. You know, 34 million, 5-year deal. Arsenal could do a lot worse. Negotiations with the Spanish side are reaching conclusion, having intensified in recent days. Odegaard obviously was not in the squad at the weekend for Real Madrid, and all of those things. We know Arteta and Edu have looked at him. Allegedly, it is understood that Odegaard has already agreed personal terms for a contract until 2026. So clearly, we just need to dot I's and cross T's with Real Madrid, medical, and then he's ours in it. If personal terms have been done, obviously deal with whatever paperwork needs to be dealt with. As long as he feels comfortable in the country, comfortable at the club, believes in Arteta, then, you know, and for me has a sense of urgency and want to show, because as much as I want you to play for Arsenal and stuff, I want Odegaard to be selfish. I want you to want to show the world how good you are. I want you to just look at it and say, listen, I'm a creative man. I ain't really got too good creative statistics. I ain't really, when man are saying the best creators in the world, they're not saying me. If you have that, everything else will fall into place. And obviously we're still in talks for Ramsdale, where that one is. And obviously, just for final viewing for you lot, Arsenal close to agreeing permanent transfer for Odegaard, and Real Madrid star could be ready to face Chelsea. These lot are saying 30 million. So 35 million, you know, it's not the biggest of fees, considering you got a little money for Joe Willock and this whole, you know, it's not the worst. It's not the worst. We could do a lot worse as we have done as a club. And yeah, like you can see here, Arsenal could unleash incoming signing Martin Odegaard against Chelsea. Again, I'd imagine he'd be on the bench against Chelsea, if I'm completely honest with you. But it is what it is in that regards, people. That's my old timestamps. As you lot can see, we're quite busy, people. I need to cut up some clips from my last live stream. Yeah, this is where we need to be. 34, 30. Make sure we're hitting the like button, people. / AOUAR. Yeah, that's that. He can be your Bruno. I don't think he's that hungry to get goals. Bruno's on scoring goals. Like Bruno is like you can tell Bruno eats goals. For me, I'll be real with you. I know goals and assists make the difference, but for me, I'd rather, I don't mind him getting meaty returns. And I say that not in terms of an acceptance. For me, the key thing I want to see, and there has to be a mandate to play out from the back properly. There has to be movement. The manager wants it, but I want the game to run through Odegaard, and I want him to want the game to run through him, sort of thing. Because when I look at games like, again, I keep using it, Crystal Palace, yes, last season, bro, I shouldn't be like, even at Brentford, man, shouldn't be looking at Tierney to break things, to win games on his own. It doesn't make sense. No one wants to finish. No one wants Tierney in this club to get assists because no one finishes it. But I don't want that. I want Odegaard to recognize, yo, listen, we're under the cosh. I'm not being funny. We shouldn't be in this situation. Give me the ball. Let me make the difference. So I'd rather him control the tempo of a game. I'd rather him dictate the game. I'd rather the game run through him. Then you can get me the goals and assists. Not to belittle Bruno, because I think Bruno's IQ could change and he could do that. But Bruno's really, really indisciplined in the midfield. He's best when he's free to do what he's doing. Now, he gives you them goals and he match wins, and that's what he's about. I obviously want Odegaard to get goals and assists, but I don't know how hungry he is. Bruno is hungry. Ironically, I want them to do the same old thing. Bruno's more scoring goals, but he wants to make the difference and win the game for United via doing all of these sort of things. So for me, fundamentally, if Odegaard can link up well and be the dictator and the conductor in the middle of the park and stuff like that, that's what I want to see. Of course, I need to see goals and assists from SMITH-ROWE, from him, and from players not mentioned. Our record assisters, 5 apiece. Willian and SMITH-ROWE. Now, credit to SMITH-ROWE. He was in the team 5 minutes. Willian had a bit of a difficult season. Pogba went and got 4 assists in his last game. He gets 1 more. He's matched it. Big up to Pogba. But are you telling me these are not crimes? We can't afford to do this in the Premier League. Goals win games. We're not scoring. And when you're not scoring, when you're not really keeping people out, what are you doing? When you look at the Arsenal team, I don't really see what we're about. So that's what I want to see, man. What I want to see from Odegaard. I think that will make a good. I'm going to clip that one up. So one love to you lot in the future if you're watching this via the rerun. But one love to everybody that's here at the same time. Fundamentally, people as well. It's Wednesday, halfway point in the week. Hope you're all having a good week. Hope you're all, good health and them things there. Hope you will move closer towards your goals. Definitely everybody's hit the like button. Wishing you an abundance of riches, of spiritual riches, of financial riches, whatever your goals, dreams and aspirations. Hope you hit that. If you ain't hit the like button, unexpected high bills, you're going to bang your little toe on the wall or something like that. It's going to get mad. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards, man. And obviously I look at Odegaard against Leicester. I look at him against West Ham. These are the things where I want you to change it. One man can't do it alone. It don't work like that. But for me, goals and assists for me are secondary. Goals and assists win games, so they're as important. But I just feel we ain't got goal scorers. We ain't got that, but we ain't got difference makers, especially when things are going wrong. Nobody wants to say, you know what, I'm taking this personally. Everybody's shifting the blame. Oh, you have it. You have it. Where's Saka? You're a good lad. You like to run about. Take the ball. SMITH-ROWE, go do your thing. Tierney, Flying Scotsman, you got to be down the left-hand channel somewhere. Aubameyang, can you score a goal? Oh, Aubameyang, you're not scoring goals. We're pissed. We're in trouble, sort of thing. So that's what I want to really see from him. But yeah, man. We need someone who can score goals, 100%, bro. Big up my guy, Tim. Share, subscribe, and hit the like button, people. What else are you lot saying? Odegaard is kind of similar to Van der Beek. He sent it to me, Dow Square. What are you talking about, Enz? We won't ever have a goal scoring 10/Cam until we have an 8. 100%. 100%. he can chip in with assist / pre-assist, bro. Pre-assist don't mean nothing to me. Like, you need to get assists or goals will dictate the tempo of a game. Obviously, I'll recognize you, but man, I'm not sitting there. I am not sitting there and counting no pre-assists. Oh, some of you are unhappy too. So Emil Smith-Rowe and Odegaard, 2 non-goal scoring attacking mids, bro. Some attacking mids are better than none, man. I hear you though. It's a legit concern, and both need to score and assist more. So we go back to the same midfield that finishes 8th, and he created 2 assists in 20 games. To be fair, it's not fair to him. Like, he joined halfway through the season. He joined a mess. Yeah, man. You say it's unfair on the young players. Odegaard is 2 years old. Is 2 years older than Smith-Rowe. Exactly. Nothing changes. Like, it's unfair on these young players. It's unfair. You know, it's unfair on any player. When it was Leno and Aubameyang just winning the games for us 2 seasons ago, I said it's unfair on them. You know, I'm not expecting Odegaard to be the single reason for us to get top 4. He is 2 years, but he's an exception to the rule in that he's been at Madrid, he's been around. You know, he's not a normal teenager, or he's not a normal young man, or was it? It's a bit like Kylian or a bit like Greenwood, and to a degree Saka. Them man are not normal teenagers to a degree, even though I think it's young. They're not. You're not really going to judge them to the average Joe Blogs, are you? And if we're not bringing in people to make the difference, what the fuck are we signing them for? If I'm completely honest with you, like, I can't lie to you. This ain't a play crash. But moving on, DG, you sound like your pendulum has swung more over the Arteta route side of things. Or am I wrong? P-Mav, I'm not Arteta in, Arteta route. I'm Arsenal in. If I see things to criticize, right now it's raining, so I'm giving the weather forecast. If Arteta's doing things that he's shining, I'll praise him to high heavens, as I've done. You know, there's no in or out. Bro, are you doing the job or not? Right now, there's not a legit reason to keep you. There's not a legit thing I can cling on to. It's a myth. Please stop spamming Yasser. You know, it's not going to get things red light, bro. Yo, DG, if we get Odegaard and Ramsdale, we only have money for one more signing. What position are you getting? A right back, an 8, or a striker? You know what? For me, I can't lie to you. I would like a striker, but I feel we can at least fix that in-house. I think that's more of a coaching thing. If the coaching improves, I think we can start scoring some goals and things. I'm not happy with the middle of the park, so I'd say an 8. I'm not happy with the spine of our team, and I just feel when you've got Ben White to go with Gabriel, when you've got Tierney, Leno's not rubbish at all. I just think it's a chance of having a decent back 5, assuming Leno wants to be here. Pardon me. So there's an opportunity to buy a right back, but we probably need to move someone. I'd probably go for AOUAR. So by that logic, I'd say 8. Time to solidify and climb. You never know. If we're in good shape at the end of the year, we'll splosh the dosh on Haaland. His best friends with Odegaard. Please don't laugh too hard, Deluded. I thought I was deluded. Man said Haaland. You're going mad. Man are saying Verratti myth. Man said pre-assists are like girls liking your tweets means nothing. Hey, that don't mean nothing. Not too much, but yeah, man. Little jokes lead to, you know, slaps on wrist. So let me chill. They've been on my case. Certain people have. This smacks of a lack of ambition from the board and the owner. What a joke. I mean, let's be real. How? Like, how? I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but how? How is signing Martin Odegaard a lack of ambition? How? Seriously, how? Shouldn't we pattern a number 9 if we want to score goals? Bro, to get to the strikers, it has to pass through the other 2 banks of our team. I think you suddenly start creating proper chances and stuff. You might see Aubameyang, Lacazette, Balogun, Martinelli, Saka, Pepe, all these guys in a different light. But you're only attacking as the manager. Man said, I watched the stream only to hit the like button for the blessings. Come on, my guy, man. Appreciate that. You're killing me, man. You spitting. I don't know if I am, man, but appreciative of that, man. Bro, I don't think you can go wrong. Obviously, that you can always go wrong, but it's not like we're spending 70 million on demand. Like, You know, some fans that are crying lack of ambition, when we spend 70 million on Maddison, they're going to sit there and say, oh, we overpaid, oh, this and that. And I'm not saying either party is wrong. I just feel as fans, you can criticize the club, you can blame. And I'm not saying sometimes you need to be fair in what you're saying. Like, you need to actually just stop and think, is there any logic in what I'm saying? You can't grab a player from Real Madrid. Man are saying he's a reject and all of these things. What was Alexis Sanchez then? What was Mesut Ozil then? Not that I believe in any of this dosh. And how did they work out? You know, again, if anything, how can Odegaard be a reject? He said, I want to leave. Like, whether he's going to play or not, he said, I want to bust out. Like, whether Carlo was going to leave and whatever we hear about internally, Carlo said, he said, I want to dip. And then said, Odegaard is like Messi for Arteta. I'm not too sure of that. A better manager at this club and we get top 5. Under Arteta, we could be fighting to keep ourselves top 10. Hopefully, we can be proven wrong in that, man. Working from home slash DG. John Hamilton, one love, my guy. Hope you're enjoying your thing. Our defense ain't got the mental capacity to focus. They ain't got the mental capacity to react to setbacks, you know. The only thing I don't see what quite happens to them is that, you know, remember when Arsenal, our defense, we concede 1 goal. And then within that 10-minute stage, them man are conceding about 2-3. I don't really see that as much. That's the only thing I give them. Willock could have been that guy. What, as a 10? Box to box, I'm hearing the Willock. I'm hearing the Willock as the box to box man. As the 10, not too sure on that, man. Not too sure. Where are we at in? I did a poll. I hope you lot all voted on that poll. Where are we at in that poll, people? Where are we at on that poll? I didn't even ask you lot, is he going to be a good sign? It's not even showing me the full thingy of it, but so far, 73% said he'd be a good signing. 27% said he'd be a bad signing. We've had 817 votes. So if you haven't hit the vote button, hit the vote button, folks. So it is what it is. Now, there's some logic in pre-assist, but man's not going to sit there and say, well, you got this amount of pre-assists. I think my eyes can tell me if you're dictating the tempo of a game or if you're involved in moves. And then obviously goals and assists is what you're going to live or die by. You know, again, I'm not saying he's Iniesta, but Iniesta's stats aren't amazing. But again, he could control the tempo of a game. The game would run through him. And again, I'm not saying he's going to do that, but this is where I'm saying the only blie I will give you for not necessarily returning a respectable figure in terms of goals is if you can control the tempo of a game. And for me, I think it's not just down to you, the whole midfield. And again, if Odegaard comes in and AOUAR comes in and the midfield still ain't solved, then that for me is enough reason to sack Arteta, because you was a midfielder. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. It's like an ex-plumber teaching a plumbing school, and then students are students are graduating and they're not decent plumbers, or they're not learning anything about plumbing, or you're not seeing the fruits of their labor. It don't really make sense, does it? It's a bit baffling. But boy, Reckon will still go for AOUAR, hopefully. Though we might not get AOUAR, you know. Why are you saying to chill? You know, I'm just going to block you because you're just saying chill for no reason. You're clearly on banks. We probably aren't, but all I said is I'd like a number 8. It's early in the morning, man. You need to go watch pre-array or something. Allow my chat, man. DJ, at what point will you spend money on the new kits this season? I've got the new kits. Imagine socials when Wenger was finding unknown gems in the market. Broski, it's a madness. Odegaard lacks goals. I mean, it's all we've been speaking about. Don't know when you've arrived, but fair play. 30 million is calm peanuts compared to other players. Odegaard is a good addition, but he isn't enough. Rochelle, I 100% agree. Arteta needs to change the system. He's trying to fit square pegs into round holes. The player he has are not suited to his current system. We have some ballers used wrong. Facts, man. I don't know how people are saying Odegaard for 30 is a bad deal. I don't know, man, because fans are out here saying you can't have it both ways, man. You can't say we ain't got no one. The guy ain't good enough. We're 8th, bro. The bar is low, you know. Well, White has only been here a month. Give him a chance. Where did I get at White? EG, you think Smith-Rowe can also be moved centre mid? He looks like a ball carrier. Long term, I think he can play in that 8 position. Short term, he's doing that cam role, that wide cam role. I would love to see him play in the 8, but what do you think about Lyon wanting to sell AOUAR because of his attitude issues? Is it only his attitude issues, or is there other things to it? But I've never listen. I was someone in my whole life. People said I've got an attitude issue, so I'm never one to cry about it and stuff. And for me, when French players got attitude, that makes me want you more because I like that sort of stuff. Henry had attitude. Everyone had attitude, man. Just one poor game and we are crying for his head, guys. Let's give him the first 5 games. Check where we are. The broken bridges might have been mended. Press the like button. Not good enough to take us to top 4. It probably isn't. You know, we're not gonna get single signings where we look at and think, yo, now we're talking, now we're meaning business. As long as they can be consistent, they can collectively help each other with their goals, then it's cool. It is what it is. Apparently on Odegaard, people, Dharma Chef said, let me share my screen because it's just better to see. Odegaard from Real Madrid to Arsenal advanced, still work to do on a deal, thought to be an initial 30 million, rising to 34, needs to be registered by midday Friday to be available for Chelsea on Sunday. Arsenal also tried for Maddison this window, but proved difficult. We'll never know the scale in which we tried for Maddison or how far or close, or if anything, where that was, but there you have it. And I mean, for 34 million, it's a decent business, really and truly. Can't lie to you. What's you lot saying? Do you think Trippier would be a sound addition? We need some experienced players. To be fair, just because of the fact that he can actually play as a right back, yes, but you know, knowing Arsenal, we're going to give him a 10-year contract. Can't lie, that team was horrible. Went hella cold. Happy that's done now. Do you think we'll sign a striker this window? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Really don't know. Don't think so, though. But I hope so. You know, I hope so. Why not, man? Who wouldn't want to be proven wrong? Let me actually make another timestamp as well. But yeah, and for me, like I said, if Odegaard is signing for this club, like he just needs to know what he's stepping into. And for me, I just want to see him improve because you look at his metrics. Obviously, some of this might not necessarily be top divisions and stuff, but if we was just to be lazy, in 236 appearances in the pro game, you've only got 33 goals and 42 assists. Now, obviously, he's 22, 23. Some of them were as a little kid, and there's very many factors. But when you look at it in La Liga, you only got 4 goals and 6 assists, and you was having a good season for Sociedad. So they are legit concerns, you know, goals and assists. If you can show a willingness to get that, then we've got a good player. But this is now where I'm looking at Mikel Arteta. You know he's got some potential. You should know him better than you know many players because he was there for 6 months. So you know him up close, what he's good at, what he's bad at, how he reacts in training, how he reacts to, you know, certain people are better at. There's different ways to teach people in it from a human element. So you should know that, you know, clearly he likes you. So how, like I said at the start, how are you going to make him a player that's able to get 10 goals and assists or whatever? And for me, more importantly than that, how are you going to make him able to impact the game in that middle of the park like real Arsenal players could, like Santi used to, like Ozil could, like Rosicky could, you know? I don't know why, but people forget like Vieira could, you know, like these sort of, and there's many a player on them, you know? And I'm really going to look at it because, as I said, Mikel Arteta, you was a midfielder. If I don't see midfield addressed and I don't see midfield improving, that's the one thing I'm looking at you shakily, you know? If I'm a goalie, you know, Nuno's a goalie. If he now brings in rubbish goalies for Spurs, I'm going, even though it's got nothing to do with me, I'm looking at you shaky. If you're a striker and if you was a manager and you used to be a striker and you're bringing in shit strikers, what's going on? That's the one sort of area you should have confidence by. I actually don't know where Jose used to play in terms of position, but you know, with Jose, whatever club he goes to, whatever happens, centre backs and maybe strikers are going to be all right. Young players might get chances in those 2 positions. So, you know, Odegaard can't lift his team by himself. He should be able to show his qualities, but his numbers are meaty. Like I said, yeah, he joined mid-season. Yeah, the team was a myth. Like I said, as much as I feel Odegaard has to take personal responsibility for not having a great amount of numbers for Arsenal, same way Aubameyang has to for not really scoring too much. There's no smoke without fire. Why is it that Willian, as poor as Willian is, and I'm definitely not defending Willian, Willian's had probably his worst ever season we've ever seen him in the Prem. Why is it that Odegaard only got these meaty returns? Why is it that Smith-Rowe and Willian only got 5 assists in the league? Why is it Aubameyang struggled to score? Why is it we failed to score or create chances or have shots on target? It's what the manager is doing. So again, Arteta needs to take off the handbrake. There's no point having Smith-Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, all these guys if you're not going to lift up the handbrake. And one has to wonder how much can attacking players thrive at this moment in time under Mikel Arteta based on the evidence we're seeing. Looking at it, of course, you just want Odegaard to come in here and want to step up. His best return is 11 goals, 12 assists, people. You know, he got 7 and 9 in all comps for Sociedad in an amazing loan spell based on everything here. Ain't really had a fair crack at things at Madrid, and he only made 20 appearances for Arsenal Football Club. So you want to see a bit more. He's only played twice in the Champions League. I'd actually like to see how many times he's actually played, how many 90-minute games he played for us as well, if I can find something. Where's that? Where's the... Let me go back. Where's the actual thing you're meant to click? I need to see his performance data. Let me see last season. This is that 2021, yeah. And like I said, he's 23 next year, so he's still not the finished article, but you want to see a sense of urgency. Obviously, he was plagued with injuries. Let's just skip straight to Arsenal, people, because none of this is relevant beyond Arsenal. You know, so what? Europa League, we'll leave that. Europa League, what? He got significant minutes here and there. He had an ankle injury. Personally, I think Arteta managed him wrong when he came back from the international break with an injury, because he looked like he took time to adapt. Then he found a real purple patch. Like, if I remember it, you know, he was good against Leeds from what I remember. City was anonymous. You know, Leicester, I think that Leicester is where he had a good game. I think he was good in the Spurs game. If I remember rightly, he played a pivotal role in helping us get over the line against West Ham. Obviously, Liverpool's a myth. Newcastle, he probably did all right. He was very good against Chelsea. He was decent towards the end of the season. So, yeah, he took a while to get going. But once he got a look in the team, he did all right. You know, like I said, it feels like a player that's always been here. He's not going to be amazing, but there is some scope to it, man. He's not a bad player at all, man. But again, anyone that's got concerns about him, you allowed those concerns. All I can say is I hope he proves you wrong. Like, I hope he proves people wrong. In fact, I hope Odegaard proves his haters wrong. And that makes me want to defend you more. Like, I don't think much of Ramsdale, but you know, I have my own criticisms of Ramsdale, so I'm probably internally fighting myself. But, you know, the more people that don't say he's a good signing, the more I want to personally support you, really and truly. And like I said, I just want people to come here with a point to prove. And I think every signing that's arrived this summer has. You know, man are rating Lokonga now, but people are saying Lokonga, who's that? You know, if he played at the Emirates, we've all been there, and he was on the other team and his name's announced, we're going, who? You know, we're hearing that he's on the cusp of Belgium. Show me something. You know, a lot of people are saying Odegaard should have stayed. For people saying Odegaard should have been permanent, show us something to get behind. You know, give something for the haters to shut up. For the haters, I'm sure many people that wanna be proven wrong. You know, show something. Tavares, people are saying you're a bit shaky defensively. You know, they want to know, can you do a thing? Ben White, 50 million, 1 Premier League season. Can you do a thing? Ramsdale, if you get opportunity, can you show us something? Mikel Arteta, can you show us something? Because ironically, the same things that I'm just said about them players, Arteta now. You know, I find it hard to say a man hasn't been backed when he's been allowed to spend 50 million on Ben White, 30 odd if it happens on Ramsdale. He's been allowed to say, I want Odegaard to return. He's making these calls. This is your team now. You know, Danny, he isn't taking us to the next level. None of them are. We're not signing guys that Maddison's not taking Arsenal to the next level. Let's be real. He's an amazing player, same way with Odegaard, but he's not going to make us stronger for top 4. You know, there's very few players you look at and think, yo, they make you stronger. And there's a couple of them that have been bought. Lukaku, he makes Chelsea's case stronger. There's players that are good players and shake up things, but there's very few players that have been signed that are going to take them to the next level. All you're hoping with these signings at Arsenal is in time to come, Odegaard can show at 23. He's going to show his longevity. Ben White, the same. Ramsdale, the same. Because as I said, Edu, because this is as much your legacy as Arteta's, you lot got to get this right. And for me, even though you've worked with Odegaard, the problem at Arsenal has been we sign players and we don't know how to use them. Know exactly what you're going to do with Odegaard. And the same goes for all the other players. So we'll have to see what happens, man. We'll have to see. But It's due to be an entertaining one, isn't it, people? Please make sure you're hitting the like button if you have not done such already, folks. Make sure you're following me on Twitch. I'm going to be live on Twitch at 3 p.m. We'll probably focus around, we'll talk about Arsenal because there'll be some Arsenal stuff, but I'll focus on some neutral content as well. So yeah, make sure you're following that. So yeah, there's an unhealthy obsession to write players off before they've kicked a ball. What players would want to join? To spend over 100 million for 2 seasons and give us 8 is a sackable offence. If you want to be a top 4 team, check Chelsea. My mum's a decent player, but you wouldn't spend 30 million on her. Dow Square, you don't want to make mum jokes. I'm sure there's man here that would spend a healthy penny on your mother. So allow mummy, man. Mummy's probably just making a brekkie and that. Probably working from home and you're drawing out your mother, like, man. Odegaard's been playing since he was like 15, 16. DG, do you think Odegaard would be effective as a number 8 or only as a 10? I think him and Smith-Rowe can play as 8s. But again, if they're going to play as 8s, they need to have a working relationship with Partey, if fit or Xhaka. And how often is he going to do that? You know, when it's 2 right footers in midfield, no one says anything. But him and Xhaka 2 left footers, it might not happen based on what we hear. So again, it's all about partnerships. You know, a big reason as to why Arsenal struggled for me last season, while new players are needed and all these things, there's something to be said for stability, improving existing players, improving their relationships. I haven't seen the back 5 units playing out from the back develop. I haven't seen a consistency with whoever's playing right and left back. I mean, right back and right wing. The same goes on the left-hand side. Obviously, there's an exception because you've got Teeny. Teeny seems to work good with whoever. There isn't a good relationship with whoever's next to Partey, and them two connected with their 10. You know, our first attacker is the goalie. Our first our first defender is the strikers. And until we understand this and look like a well-functioning unit, we're gonna have these occasional wins, these random moments in big games where they surprise us. But ultimately, when we start in August and we end in May, those 2 positions, Arsenal start first. It's been 8th the last 2 years. I don't know what it's gonna say next year. I hope it's something more positive. Boy, these lot have to write their own story. It's down to them. Not down to us as fans because we want it. I don't know if the players want it. I don't know if the manager wants it. I don't know if the club want it as much as us. I'd say no because there's been no urgency. Do Arsenal have a talisman? You look at that team, it's the young G's, man. But it's a harsh one. Would you play Ben White as a CDM and have Odegaard and a solid? No. Let the man play centre half. He's only playing midfield or right back for me is if there's them occasional games where we're trying a team tactically or there's injuries. Let the man develop at centre half. Then we can do the filling in sort of stuff. Max Aarons would be a good signing, but he's another player that's overrated by Arsenal fans, man. If I'm completely honest, he's a quality player though, but people move like he's mad solid defensively. He don't need to make any improvements and all these things. Please stop spamming. It's not going to get things read out. You're just going to get blocked. It's just the unknown allure with Maddison, which is exciting some fans. That's what's undermining Odegaard. Fans aren't loyal, man. This is why I always say competence, confidence, and consistency, because fans will turn on you and then, you know, be your biggest friend in the heartbeat, man. It's not mum's joke. Just allow mummy, bro. What's mummy done, bro? I'd say this mum's a decent player. Your mum didn't give birth to you for 9 months. Didn't hold you for 9 months and give birth to you for you to be running joke on online on the socials. Come on now, man. Respect her, man. We'd be a much better signing. Basuma, I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure because when you've got Partey, Lokonga, and Basuma on the pitch, people are gonna say there's no creativity. I do think fans can't be helped to a degree. I'm not saying that's wrong because I would have loved him. And like I said, it's all about Arteta. You've got the tools. For me, we shouldn't be struggling for attack. Attack should be the least of our problems. You have to try really hard for Arsenal to fail attacking. I don't care what anybody says about Aubameyang declining and things. You should not be struggling. You've got Aubameyang, you've got Lacazette, you've got Pepe, you've got Saka, you've got Smith-Rowe. Teams that have scored more than us, teams that have finished above us would kill for some of these options. Teams that have less to work with are ahead of us. So like I said, every player has to take responsibility for how shit their season was last year. But at the same time, there's something we're doing on the training front or something we're not doing or some mandate that Arteta doesn't think is important. Goals win games, you know. That's why we're looking better when we're playing Chelsea United, even when we've lost to City and stuff, because we're on this underdog Disney Channel Mighty Ducks thing. The minute there's time to show some sort of fight and try and be the dominant foot, be on the dominant footing, we haven't shown that too many times. To be fair, there has been, you know, I look at Chelsea, I look at Spurs last year, where we have been a bit more attacking and things like that, but they don't last. I can't even lie. I don't even know how Odegaard gets in the team at the start of the year, because for me, based on that Brentford game and with the Chelsea and City games to come, bro, you might as well just slap a back three quickly, damage limitation. Because, boy, if we go with a back four and the same naiveties that we're going on with in the last game, it's not going to be pretty. You know, Lukaku might get 18 goals in a game and get off to the season. You know, he might stat pad and whatnot. Somehow Werner might even score. Boy, I said it when we lost to Chelsea in pre-season. If you do that in the league, some of the chances you lot afforded in the league, they're gonna smack you up. You know, if we play Spurs, we got Spurs in a couple of weeks. We play like how we played Spurs in pre-season. The post isn't gonna save us. It's not gonna be pretty. So we can sign all the players we want. The mentality needs to be addressed. Like I said, I want every player to play for Arsenal Football Club. I want them to want to play for the fans. I want all them things there, people. Who doesn't? But I'm at the point now where I need you to play for yourselves, man. You lot worked hard to be professional footballers. You lot are living the dream. Footballers' careers are not forever. I don't get the vibe that you lot truly comprehend that. I don't get the vibe you lot want to improve. I don't get the vibe that nobody wants to fail in life, bro. Even the most baddest kid in school, you know, if he failed a test, nobody likes to be a dunce. No one wants to be an idiot. I'm getting the vibe that you lot do. So show me something. That, you know, I'm tired of saying the same, and it's not through any of their faults. I'm tired of only praising Saka, Smith-Rowe, Tierney, you know, Martinelli, you know, the new recruits, all of these sort of guys. I need everyone to stand up to be counted and want to put respect on their own name. If you're a creative man, I want to be playing Champions League football. I want to make the difference for Arsenal Football Club. I want to stop, if I'm a defender, I want Arsenal to be stopped mentioning among jokes. I want us to, whenever match of the day is on and Arsenal, like Arsenal Brentford, why are we taking up the most screen time? Why is it when it's Ian Wright, Alan Shearer, these sort of man, they're just laughing and joking and carrying on? When it's Arsenal, scribbles. I don't want to hear Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher's BS about our club anymore. I want you lot to stand up to be counted for yourselves. If they can't do that, they're not going to play for the manager. They're not going to play for the badge. They're not going to play for ourselves. If you're not playing for your own family name on the back of that shirt, it's a myth. It's a myth. And there's a lot of, as much as there's a lot to be worked on a tactical point of view, mentally, there's a lot that Arteta needs to get through, but there's a lot of problems that only the players can arrest. You know, you can take someone to the water. These players need to want to drink it, you know. They don't want to drink the Henny. They don't. They really don't. So we'll have to see, man. And it starts at Chelsea. I hope so. I hope so. I hope it's positive, man. I want it to be positive. I'm trying to be as positive as I can be with the Chelsea game there, but it's what it is in that regards, man. What else are you lot saying, man? You've been saying this for time. Play for the pride of your family, bro. Because it's one of them ones, bro. You're not playing for yourselves. Like, if you're not playing for yourselves, how you gonna play for the next one, man? I don't think anybody's excited about signing Odegaard. I think everyone's just happy to get over the line. You know, Arsenal are not going to sign world-class players at this moment in time through finances and through where we are. I mean, you know, you've probably got to take your Arsenal pride badge off and assess where we actually are. And just because you're not world-class players does not mean you can't be a decent player. You know, people probably were not thinking the world of people like Lauren when they signed for Arsenal. It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. As long as you're competent, confident, and consistent, everything else can fall into place. And there's many Arsenal legends that were not world-class players. So, you know, if you want to do the world-class player thing, you know, I can send you my PSG shirt, you know. We're going to be doing a hell of amount of PSG watch-alongs over on my Twitch. That's where you need to go, man. I don't think Maddison's overrated. I just feel Arsenal fans are overrating it. Like they do. They did it with AOUAR. They did it with Buendia. They did it with Shabozz. Like any player that gets linked with Arsenal, especially when it starts off with a bag of names and then it becomes that one. You know, they were wetting their pants over Odegaard last year. You know, and now they're gonna do the same thing, man. You're allowed an opinion, but it's just the flip flopping is jarring, man. Are you excited, DG? I'm excited to see the journey that we'll have on this YouTube channel with me and yourselves, man. Man said, totally agree, DG. We got the big guns. Arteta don't know how to load the bullets. Bro, the gun's jamming. The gun is jamming. He ain't greased the thing down. Like, it's a myth. More than DG, would you still take our if/when Martin Odegaard is signed? Yes, 100%. Also, well gone with Torreira. Find it crazy. Hardly anything has been said. That midfield is looking stacked. At this moment, Torreira might even be on Love Island. I can't lie. I don't know what's going on with Torreira, if he's moving. There's 2 weeks left in the window. I'd imagine something is assessed, you know. Apart, would love him to get a look back in the squad because on ability is there. If his commitment's there, why not? But I'd imagine that one's going to get sorted, whether it's back to Spain or Italy. You'd imagine there's something that we don't know about. Arteta can't get it up, can't get it on, bro. Let's not talk about the next man's piece. You man are moving mad. And like you said once before, everyone's got to start from somewhere. Just because they ain't world class now doesn't mean they can be. Bro, I'm at the point, as long as I can be, as long as close to a 38 game period, you're reliable, you've got reliability and you make the difference. I don't care if you're world class. You know, if we was in the champion, I still want them players. Who doesn't, you know? But if we was in the Champions League, if we was consistently getting Europe, if we was all the things we talk about, if they weren't a thing, then I could sit there and say, all right, cool, we need some players that are going to do this and that, you know, we need that. But as long as you're consistent, I don't mind. We need to go back to basics. We don't have players we can believe in consistently, man. Rochelle, when you find out, let me know, man. I don't know. I don't think these players, I'm not going to say they don't have pride, but I don't get the vibe that you lot are prideful people. You might be prideful in training because all I hear is you lot are fighting in training and doing this and doing that and stuff, but I don't see it on the pitch. And for me, I think it's always reary. I've always found that weird when you've got, you know, I'm sure some of you that are younger than me, you've had friends, or anyone in life, you've had friends that they're bad for their brethren. They're not bad for people on the street. Like if one of the friends told them to shut up, they've got a lot to say. If someone out the street that they don't know says shut up, it's not the same energy. And I don't believe in that. For me, if you're gonna fight your brothers or your comrades in training, bro, you should be on fighting the next man. You know, I don't get the vibe that these lot have a siege mentality because it just feels like there's always tomorrow. So there's no sense of purpose. When you wake up with a purpose in the morning, you have urgency. I don't get that with all of this Arsenal team. They're just existing. And for me, the feeling of regret in life, what I've learned in my 26 years, is very I don't even know how to describe it. The feeling of regret and disappointment when your conscience is there is a mad one. And I genuinely think some of these footballers, at Arsenal, they're gonna look back when it's too late and think I could have given more. And when it's too late, it's too late. So save it now. But some of them are in positions they should have never, ever been in. And then they're just reinforced and told they're special. As I said, it feels like what you see with some of you who have got kids. You know, if you was to have a school sports day nowadays, not that I've been to one, I'm pretty sure there must be an award for coming 10th place from 1st to 10th, where obviously if you ain't come from 1st to 3rd, it's a myth sort of thing. Just rewarding, making people feel important for no reason. That's why I find it hard to sit here and praise people when I say he works hard, he puts a shift in. Brother, you should, there needs to be a bit more than that, but fundamentally there needs to be that because there isn't that at this football club, which is a shame and a pain, people. But what are you gonna do about it, eh? What are you gonna do, man? The mentality side proved in the Brentford game, proved way before that, bro. You know, in the preview, what was we saying? I said, I look back at that Sheffield United game where we played them at home, where, you know, in that season where before they got the season before they got relegated, we couldn't deal with the culture. And it's like, and this is what I mean. How dedicated are these players to the craft? Because you knew it, I knew it, everybody listening knew, you know, Brentford are promoted side, they're street smart, they've got a number of players who can do their thing. They've got a good unit. You know, the 12th man is back in the stadium. It's their first game in the top flight return now for 70 odd years. It's the first game at their new stadium. The 12th man element is going to be a massive factor. We're up against it because there's injuries or people missing through illness. It seemed like we don't comprehend these things. And I just have to say they're not dedicated to their craft. They're not. Again, it's where we're at now, isn't it? Unfortunately. Patience as well, but you need to see reasons to be patient. I'm impatiently patient. I can't lie. I'm very impatient about mentality because it should be there. Should be there already. Would Odegaard have to quarantine? I'd say no if he's going to be eligible for Chelsea in some capacity. I want to see Pepe down the middle. If no one else available, why not, man? It could be something. Lukaku will choke in the Premier League again. I don't think so, but boy, you never know. Hopefully he can choke playing against us. Bro, when it's too late, bro. You know, think about it. If you could change your life in your 30s, you know, with that feeling of regret, it's easier than if you're 80 years of age, you know, you know, again, you can't really change much. Man said joined a bit late, but you have to watch the ads so DG can keep the lights on. Much love, people. Trust me, everyone sees the content and think it pays for itself. One love for that one there, my guy. One love to everybody that's locked in. We're at 429 likes. We must be able to begin the assault towards 500. I've learned not to listen to transfer rumors. I'll believe it when it happens. Fair place, and that's a good way of looking at stuff, man. DG Arsenal have, to be honest, DG Arsenal have good players as players, but when we them in a team, no good, I think, bro, because again, it comes down to the gaffer, bro. They need to freeze Torreira out. How is he still on holiday and not training? Purely, he's clearly done that with their blessing, to be fair to him. Torreira's linked with Roma. Oh, yes, Torreira whoring himself out to another Italian club. You know, is it you? Are they being linked, or is it him and his dad saying, oh, we'd like to go there? Sort it out, man. You know, one thing that really annoys me about Arsenal is that I know it's all on Edu and whoever to move people on, but at the same time, bro, you man got agents. If you genuinely want to move on as much as you do, you know, what's your agent doing, Xhaka, if you like Italy so much? What's your agent doing, Leno, if you like it so much? Better and you want to leave so much. What's your agent doing? You know, what is your agents doing? The fact that Odegaard only has a handful of starts for Real Madrid makes me think that Arsenal man have gassed this kid up to something he's not. If anything, Arsenal fans are very critical on him. So I wouldn't agree with that. Arteta needs to stop aiming that gun at himself and stop shooting himself in the foot. Exactly, you know. He keeps taking paracetamol and his headache isn't getting any better, man. DG 2:45 a.m. here. Do you think Arteta will be able to sell Bellerin and buy right back by deadline day? I hope so, because Bellerin wants to leave. So I hope him and his agent kind of force the boat. But as we get on, it's looking a bit mad. And you said, do you think he took in Tavares because he can play there and he's doubtful he can get everything done? Maybe an element of that, you know, Tavares can, you know, you've got options with Tavares. He can play on the left and the right. He can, you know, you could get a lot out of him, I feel, in a back three where you kind of absolve him of defensive possibilities. Me personally, I'm not saying, I know Tavares has played there at Benfica. I know he's done his thing, but it's just square pegs and round holes. It's just the Callum Chambers thing again, where there's going to be some games where he plays well and there's going to be games where he looks like a duck out of water. Personally, I would love for Tavares to arrest his defensive frailties first, lock down left back, and then we'll talk. Personally, I would like a right back who's an actual right back. I don't mind if injuries force our hand, if there's an occasional game we want to experiment, if there's a cup game. But, you know, for me, I want right backs, not centre halves who puts a shift in that right back, you know, centre mid, centre back, sorts things of that nature. I agree with that 100%. Maddest thing is, I saw a story Kieran Tierney was going too hard in training. I've heard that as well. You know, he trains too hard. You know, you heard that about Alexis as well. You're only as good as your weakest link in the team. I don't know who the weakest link is, but it is what it is. How was striker? I don't know, Cabba, what that means, but fair play. Don't trust fullbacks playing on the side of their weak foot. That's a harsh one. I play left back and I score goals, but yeah, 100%. Oh, man. At this stage, it's a question of, is Arteta tactically efficient and the players just cannot follow instructions, or is he tactically inept? I think he is able to give tactics. I think if he had better players, he could do his thing, but I don't think he's really adaptable to things that don't fit his remit or what he feels is happening in his head. I do think there's clearly a problem with how he's communicating things as well. And he either has to change up the system with different players or adapt the system to what he's got, man. To be fair, you can't say Torreira hasn't got cojones. There's a man who left his homeland at 17, 18 years of age to go to Italy, man. I know he's a bit emotional, but you can't say he lacks balls. Odegaard has a higher ceiling than Maddison, in my opinion. I think they've both got high ceilings. I think there's a lot more to come from Maddison. I think if you really scrutinise it, there's a lot more to come from Maddison and evidently Odegaard, man. I don't know who we get as manager because, again, much like the goalkeepers, I don't know if 30 people are going to return. Are going to want to come here when you get down to the nuts and bolts, man. We need to upgrade the club psychologists and get the players to understand what they need to be successful. The blasé demeanor of some seniors on recent seasons is jarring. Facts. Facts. These men just want a paycheck. It's obvious, harsh. I do think they care more than just about money. I just think they're a bit of a myth, man. One love to DG always. Only deluded about this club is the board. Boy. Players like Xhaka and Bellerin seeing the likes of Van Persie go do better and feel entitled to do the same. Harsh because Xhaka wasn't here fundamentally. But I just feel kind of what you're saying, you know, reiterating their nonsense. It's not called guns. They're called cannons. Okay. Yo, you scored you're left-footed, but you scored that screamer with your right. No, I'm playing left back. I'm right-footed. In fact, you know what? I'm Santi. I don't know. You know what? My whole life, I have to gas myself. My whole life, I don't know what foot I am in it. Like, get me, man. Take penalties with the left and the right. I feel like Dembele. I don't know. I've just always played football. Nobody's actually, you know, the ones there in the favelas. Me and Gab Jesus, we just used to kick ball and that, and then obviously, I just stopped kicking ball out. You know, the ones there you get, you know, the girls and life of crime and that gets involved, man. I should have just stayed with the ball thing. Man said Gattuso, forget all of that. People forget footballers are human as well. Torreira being homesick is normal. Everyone is built different. Facts. Yeah, I did see what Chris Wheatley said about the new scouts, and I spoke on that. At least Maddison and About are better than... I don't know. I can't read that, Jeffrey. It's not making sense, broski. I didn't get that one there, unfortunately. Ben White, Martin Odegaard, Sambi Lokonga, and Nuno Tavares are really good signings for Arsenal. We can't sign players like B. Silva or Koulibaly. I mean, as long as they develop, you know, because what do I see from them? None of them players are the finished articles. But Ben White's got the scope to be the centre-half for a significant period of time. Martin Odegaard, in his position, significant period of time. Sambi Lokonga, the same. Tavares, I hope, you know, you've come in as a backup left back. I want to see you improve because I think you're shocking defensively, if I'm honest with you. I was even more concerned to have a defender not list one of his defensive abilities. I do think people will see his defensive frailties, but he's got a lot going for him going forward and he's still got development to be done. So can you develop him? You know, the only thing I'm looking at in all of them is development. How are you going to take in the short, medium term? You look at the two last names you said, Lokonga and Tavares. Anything can happen. But if everybody's fit, you'd probably expect them to be rotation options. How can you improve so that they're not just rotation options? They're genuine starters and they're complicating things. You know, as much as I love Tierney, I might even see a better Tierney if he knows, you know what, boy, Nuno Tavares look good in training. The manager's rating his thing. I better step up. I want to see that. Ben White, show me something. Odegaard, show me something. Lokonga, show me something. But again, the development is only going to be as good as the gaffer. So it is what it is in that regards. For me, anyways. You represent cannons, guns, cannons, you know. Bro, I don't know what all that's about, but fair play. Arteta's management style is basically my way or the highway. You do get that. You do get that vibe. DG, for me, Odegaard has a higher ceiling than Maddison. Fair play. I know we're not expecting a win against Chelsea, but at the very least, we need to see a proper performance. Facts. Who would I sign if it was up to you? You know me, I'm not one to do all this transfer business, but I would sign Karim Adeyemi. You saw I've been speaking about him. You saw what he did yesterday. An hour, simple business, simple things, man. You know, Karim Adeyemi is needed yesterday, bro. Forget all this Vlahovic and Martinez. They're great players. I'll take them, bro. Karim Adeyemi, you give it 18 months, 2 years, everyone's gonna be just chatting off my man. And Bayern Munich are already lurking. Boy, you need Karim Adeyemi. You know, forget all of these other young strikers. I can't lie, a couple of our young strikers, they'll get binned off at my club, you know, for him. You know, him and Martinelli, boy. And I think, well, I can't even remember if they won. They came back from behind. And I think there's a second leg. If they're in the Champions League, man, are going to see what he's on. Scary potential, man. Scary. So that's that. I'm not one for transfers and all those things, though. Appreciate you, Atkins. Apologies if I'm saying your name wrong, man. Jonathan Davis, give me one more season playing to a serious level, and then we'll be there, man. I mean, who wouldn't want AOUAR, Adil, or Sa, provided you're talking about the one of Mets? Bro, Kareem's like a robot already, Toby. He's like a robot already, but boy, it's one of them. You're just gonna have to enjoy him. You're just gonna have to enjoy him as a footballer, you know, because he ain't signing here, man. Nobody wants to come here to play for Arteta. We all know he'd be gone in 2 games. I mean, it's literally not true, isn't it? Because of the players we've signed. I hear where you're going with, but it's harsh. Arteta has 0 development skills. I think you can question his development skills, but I think it's harsh, you know, because as much as I don't think it's evident, I do think he's improved Pepe. I do think there's a better hold in there, for example. I do think there's tiny improvements in Smith-Rowe's play. But as much as I agree with you, you've got to be fair, though, man. Obviously, there are people Arteta out. We've seen the success Emre has got to achieve at Villarreal when he left us. How much time should he be given? How long's a piece of string? You know, if you're not showing a system, if you're not showing it improving, if at the very minimum, if you're not getting results, then you're in dangerous territory. How long's a piece of string? I think if it carries on like this, boy, I don't know what. You'll have a lot of free time with Christmas, innit? Probably be the best Christmas for his kids because he won't be on the training ground if things continue, man. Selling Willock is a mistake. It might be, but it's happened now, ain't it? What are we gonna do? What right back can we pick up? We're not picking up a right back until we sell some. So I've given up. The right back is. We're gonna see what we're gonna see with right back and what we've always seen in it. Really, I can't imagine anything's gonna change unless a miracle happens and Cedric leaves and Bellerin leaves and Maitland-Niles forces the boat out and whatnot. I can't see it, man. What was that? Something to talk about later, to be fair. Make sure you're all here at 3 p.m, folks. Like I said, well, I say here, Twitch, don't get shagged because I'm going to be on Twitch. And let me drop the link. Okay. Had to start early, man. Was excited, my guy, about the Martin Odegaard news. So I thought, why not, man? Not sure what point you're directly referring to, my guy, but fair play. Who's your ideal manager, bro? Managers who win games, bro, and play attacking football. Wenger's my ideal manager. Probably is building a team for a next manager, and Arteta is probably going to learn a lot of lessons that he can apply for Arsenal, that he can apply from Arsenal elsewhere. You know, it's looking like you might be a good manager. You might not be one at Arsenal if this continues. Stop spamming, my dude. But, bro, either one could play in the middle, one could play off the flanks, or both could play in the middle. You know, you could actually have a world where you've got Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, and another more attacking man, but we ain't going to do none of that. Maitland and Nelson really need to get their future sorted. Still can't believe they're at the club when they desperately need minutes. To be fair, you're hearing Nelson might sign a new deal and depart. Don't know what's going on in relation to Maitland Niles, though. DG, is the rule for YouTube? Is the rule YouTube is for Arsenal content and Twitch is for neutral content? No, I'm going to speak about Arsenal and neutral content on Twitch. I'm just literally streaming on both of them. Simple as that. How long to the Twitch stream time zones way different? 3 p.m. UK time. So I don't know where you are, my guy, but yeah, do the maths and you should be there, man. Can you see Arsenal in the top 6? If the mentality was changed, there could be a lot, but I can't really see it, man. How is there over 400 people here, but there's not 500 likes? Something is broken, people. 30 of you need to hit that like button. So yeah, man, smash the like button. Bro, I'm hoping Maitland-Niles can, I think Maitland-Niles has got all the ingredients to be a right back, but, I can't be dealing with man want to be right back 1 week, then they don't and whatnot. I'm at the time where I'm just tired, bro. Like, you want to be a midfielder right back? Cool. Let's just move on from it. Like, we don't need to be here anymore discussing it. Like, there's just so many of these love dramas at Arsenal. I'm quite tired of it. I'm tired of relying on certain midfielders. I'm tired of relying on certain right backs. I'm tired of square pegs in round holes. I'm tired of the mentality, and we've got to be cruel to be kind, man. Some of these players, the relationship between Arsenal and these players is not helping. You don't need us. We don't need you. We can't help each other. I'm happy Odegaard's back as well. With Odegaard, I see us at top 4. I wish I was that confident. I think we need a lot more than that. A lot more, but fair play, broski. Fair play. Why not, man? It's good to be optimistic, man. It's no fun when you see and you got fans of other clubs. You just bantering your club all the time. It's not fun. Hi DG. What way to spell Odegaard? Odegaard, a backup goalie and a right back. I'm happy. I wouldn't say I'm happy, but it could be a lot worse, man. Man said, Oba, Laka, Xhaka, Bellerin, Chambers, Holding, Nketiah, Nelson, Maitland-Niles, Willock all need to go. Well, Willock's actually gone, and half of them names, if they go, they're not getting replaced. You really think we're going to sell Lacazette and Aubameyang with 2 weeks to go and bring in a striker? I'd love to see it happen, but with Arsenal and our competence and how we drag out moves, but big mistake to bring in Odegaard over Maddison ultimately came down to Arteta taking the easier route. I'm not saying you're wrong, but is it necessarily? If at what point does Maddison become too expensive, and how close were we ever to getting Maddison? If we've never placed a bid or had a bid accepted, and we've just gone for Odegaard, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm playing devil's advocate. How can we choose one over the other? I wouldn't say no. What you're getting loan fees for when Arsenal are getting loan fees for Odegaard and Mavropanos, and they're both basically part of the loans with obligations to buy. So they'll be at their clubs they're at next season. So you've got that. Willock is the only significant departure, I would say. Odegaard is better than nothing. I like Mbappe, but nah. Where is the leadership? Someone needs to get a hold of the group and focus them. Aubameyang cannot be the guy if he's MIA. 70 million too much for Maddison. Why does he cost that much? What's he won? The English premium. Boy, they're the prices you're gonna have to pay. But I don't think the club can win. Not that I'm here to defend the club, because the same way if we spent 70 million on Maddison and he's looking iffy, man are gonna say, "Oh, the guy was there for 30 mil. Why didn't we do this and that?" People need to get over their love fest for Maddison. It didn't happen. Odegaard has always been the priority. I also agree. It didn't happen. It is what it is. We can only deal with the players that are here. I badly want AOUAR. It's not happening, is it? That right-footed left-back at Wrongers would be a shout to replace Bellerin. Why not, man? 200 bags a week, though. I need some peace. And you lot think, Williams got anything on me if I got him played by Arsenal? Me, I'm eating, man. Absolutely eating. Bro, it's a squad game. There's 38, bro. There's 37 games now. left, 39 when you consider the 2 cups. A lot of things can happen. Loss of form, injuries, different formations. You need a squad. It's a easy. It's a sticky one. We really do have too many left footers now, though. I hear you, but nobody says that when we've got bare right footers. So I don't really feel it's logical, man. Smith-Rowe will be shoehorned into the. I don't really think Smith-Rowe is shoehorned out there, man. I think it can operate. It's just dead when we do it. Maddison was all hype, but Odegaard hasn't really had enough time to adapt to the Premier. This season, he can show his true colours. He needs to. I'm so lucky to have lived through the Invincibles era, Charles. Arsenal are in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Fact. Do you think Arsenal will be in the same position as last season but improve next season? I don't know. Seeing is believing. I haven't seen a single reason to suggest things are going to get better. I haven't seen anything to suggest things are going to get worse. But I do know when you take a laxed approach to things, it does get worse. Complacency is a killer. Hopefully, there is no element of complacency still in us, definitely after the Brentford game. But truthfully, don't know. One injury and midfield look shaky, boy. Partey's injured already look shaky, you know. Again, when you've got certain people in that midfield, it's always going to be shaky. But we don't want to learn from our mistakes and apply better, apply better foresight. Which is a shame. A massive, 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 massive shame. Trying to get these collabs sorted for you lot with it being Arsenal Chelsea soon. Arteta lost the dressing room a long time ago. I don't think he's quite lost them yet, but you know, results can change things. What about a back three? I said it earlier. I would be going to a back three definitely on the eve of Chelsea and City, just to weather the storm, because we don't look like we're moving like a unit. DG, is Calvert-Lewin realistic to bring in now? Looks like Laka and Auber are out. Boy, you know, Everton are going to want a pretty penny for him, and Everton are going to need to look for a replacement. Anything in life is possible, but how much is it going to happen? And the window is ticking and ticking and ticking and ticking and ticking. Do you think Odegaard can take a similar path to Ozil? Looks like a similar player on the ball. Hopefully he's not hit and miss. One game he's on it, next minute he's not. Jacob, I think he's very much like that. And as I said, I hope the club learn from their mistakes of Ozil and fully double down on these sort of players and make sure the system is with them, man. He has lost the dressing room. Look what is happening with Auber and Laka. I don't think he's lost it, but fair play. Why don't you guys manage Arsenal? Go on. I'll tell you what, call Edu, and I think we'll give it a look, man. Says who? Bro, you're not speaking proper English. You're not even looking at what you're typing. You're just typing. Please calm down. This ain't the place for you, man. I think Ben White has only won 49% of his duels and only has played back three at Leeds and Brighton. Boy, I don't know, but boy, where are the goals coming from? Arteta has got to arrest that, because you've got hella goal scorers in that team, regardless of their form. You've got to arrest that. Please, he should start from where he left last season. Okay, fair play. Is there any other Arsenal rumours filtering online? There's a couple I want to speak about later at 3 p.m, so I'll withhold from that. Nothing of significance. But I don't trust a 5'9" centre back. Well, you wouldn't trust Cannavaro then, would you? Odegaard had come in January into a poor team with no fans and off the back of next to no football. And he did well, in my opinion. Will improve as well, in my opinion. I think he'll improve. You go into the game Sunday now. You look tired, brother. Of course I'm tired, my guy. I think Conte will be the best decision to guide us to the right direction, bro. Conte's leaving, bro. If Conte was in the start of preseason and we're moving like this, he's busting out this week. He's saying, "Listen, fuck that. It's too late for this Odegaard stuff. I was telling you lot to do this and that." He's catting out, man. He's moving out of here, man. This Premier League canny is irrelevant for me, bro. I'm just enjoying the vibes, man. We're gonna do hella neutral content. I'm gonna be here for Arsenal, just here to enjoy the vibes, bro. Ben White is 6 foot, bro. Ben White looks tall enough to do the job for me personally, but it is what it is. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is the one player Everton can't afford to sell, even because of their financial restrictions. Him to Arsenal is a no-go, and we'd have to spend an ish load of money for him. You lot are saying congrats on 40k. If we've hit 40k, I haven't looked yet to confirm that, but if we have hit that, one love to everyone who's been here from the start. One love to everybody who's there. Now the real business begins. Journey to 50. For me, 40k is not registered. Same way I say with Arsenal, you can't rest on your laurels. We move. I'm appreciative of everyone that's supporting the thing, the members, the moderators, the Twitch gang, the subscribers. Whenever you've come on this journey and joined the DG Nation, one love. But we need to go again and again and again now. It's done. You know, for me, I ain't got that. We need to move towards 50 now. So make sure you're hitting the like button, man. You have an articulate, drunken swag about you, kid. Matthew, suck your mum. Like, what are you on about? Man said drunken, you know. And who you calling kid? Put my kids in your girl's mouth. What are you talking about? Calm it down. Them sort of backhanded compliments. I mean, a man said, what did a man say? What? Oh, I didn't think someone that looked like you could articulate themselves. What the fuck? You think a black kid from North London can't speak about something? Fuck out of here, man. Come on, man. You see how man hit 40k? Matthew's baby mum, please. I need a special treat, man. You know how it is. Call me. I'll be off the live stream soon. Shout me. Let's get something going, man. I want to see titties jiggling and bums wiggling and them thing there, people. But yeah, it's what it is, man. That's some Flavor Flav thing. You get me? But moving forward, DG, do you think Arteta should play Tavares at right back against Chelsea? No, Mohammed. No. Please. No. Right back. If you're right back, you play right back. Left back. In the cups and that, you can experiment and do all of them thing there. Let's stay with actual roles. Like, again, if you're from an attacking sense, yeah, because Tavares wants to go forward, but what's going to happen? You're going to get exposed. You're going to, you're not going to help him. They're going to double up against him. He's going to look like a duck out of water. He's been thrown to the lions, and then it's a bit of a mad one. Bro, I don't know what Donny was on, bro. I don't know what Donny's on. If you're not from Australia, that calling me kid stuff can't fry. Don't let the baby face fool you. You know, man's on this Solly got the social thing. Man's on this Greenwood thing. I swear Greenwood scored at the weekend. I scored at the weekend as well. Man's on scoring on and off the field. You get me? You see the video in the intro, the Long Ranger. Your girl don't want the Long Ranger. Because I know you ain't dealing with it. Moving out of here, bro. I'm not, just in case I am, but sometimes when you go low, I have to go lower. Man's not on this Arsene Wenger thing, bro, taking bad things all the time. Sometimes you have to hit back. It's like Jose. Jose talked mad crud about Wenger. Wenger's like, he doesn't say nothing. And he pushed him at some point. I know I'm better than that. But why not, man? At times it's good to hit back, man. It's good. We're human. It's like Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil takes a lot of ish, or took a lot of ish at Arsenal from journalists. The minute he replies to a journalist, journalists are crying, man. DG, I used to watch you when you were young ages ago, and you're not reading my messages. Shame on you. My guy, I literally read your message. In case you haven't checked, there's over 600 people here. In case you haven't checked, I can't see all the messages. I have no divine right to just make this the you show. If I've missed it, you're going to have to forgive me, but I don't owe you nothing. I'll tell you what, I'll send you my bank balance, and I can have a special, my bank account details, and we can have a special live stream for you. Other than that, shut the fuck up and accept what's going on. It is what it is. Please. I try my best to, I give you a lot of respect, but one thing I'm never going to take is disrespect. Do never speak in your life like I owe you something, because I never put a gun to your head to sign into this. One love for your support, but don't try and emotionally guilt trip me into reading out your messages. Bro, if I don't see it, I don't see it. Don't take it to heart. One love to everyone who doesn't do that, but moving away from that, man. This is what makes me want to cut these live streams. Always like I stayed long, man. Can't lie, Vex DG is one of my favorite moments. I'm not vexed, but there's a lot of things in my life that can make me vex. I've subscribed, man. Appreciate you for subscribing. I'm definitely not on a mad thing, but you're right. The DG press is crazy. Bro, what more can you... Oh, man's been here since 9:30, bro. It's 11:14. And man are chatting nonsense. Get out of here, bro. Like, and if you spam, I purposely just air you. Like, I tell man, don't spam. If you spam, it's a myth. One love to Flirt Gunner. I appreciate you. Congratulations on 40k DG. Been here since 5k. All the best, mate. You deserve this. Big up from Albania. Big up all my Albanian ones there as well, man. One love to you, my guy, man. You see, people like that. You get me? Let's get back onto footy, man. Let's get back onto footy, man. Dreading facing Chelsea Sunday. If we have a lineup anything like the one against Brentford, boy, I'm just, even with the strongest team, I'm shook, man. For me, it's not even the ability of the players is one thing. It's the sentiment. Like, you know, Chelsea, they're all singing from the same hymn sheet. Everybody's serious. Everybody wants to try and retain the Champions League or push on to better things. Arsenal, couple man want to push, couple man probably still on holiday mode. Couple people don't even take their profession seriously. And obviously it's scary. I hope we can do a thing against Chelsea. You know, if again, as long as before, you've always got a chance in a game, but it's belief, man. Appreciate that, man. I did, man. 40k, it feels like 40 million to man. Appreciate you, look. We keep going, man. One love to everybody on that. Watkins is that guy, not sure, but he's an Arsenal fan, so we'll support his thing. One love to everybody that's here, man. Ben White will look better with Gabri. Maria's look poor. I hear that, but I think Gabriel is a better footballer than Gabriel's a better defender, than Marie. But let's be real. Marie is probably a bit more street smart than Gabriel. Gabriel's a bit raw. So I hear you. I agree with you 100%, Jacob. But to play devil's advocate, Gabriel's got his own lessons to learn. You know, sometimes he's charging out from defense and doing mad stuff. So I think it's, again, to go back, it's more on the system. It's more on the gaffer. It's more on improving them. Like I said, we can bring all these young players in until we're blue in the face. But again, man, have to improve them. How are they in the short term? How are they in the long term? You know, these are the sort of things we need to be wary of. But you're right, man. You know, that's the partnership I want to play. But they're too young, 22, 23-year-olds respectively, Jacob. They're going to be naive. They're going to do naive things. As long as they're making short-term mistakes for long-term gain, and we're not sitting here in 2-3 years and say, yo, Ben White still doing this. In the same way we still say, you know, certain things with Xhaka, with Bellerin, with Leno, and I'm not trying to scapegoat them. That's just the realness. We're still talking about Xhaka on the ball. We're still talking about Bellerin's defending. We're still questioning Leno's handling and things. And there's other players like that. We're still asking, can Lacazette get 20 league goals? You know, I've done a couple man dirty with that one, but you get the point. Bro, Basuma, but not just Basuma, but Basuma, I'd probably say AOUAR if it isn't going to happen. Probably a couple of other targets. With Xhaka saying I'm staying now, it probably flipped on its head. But then I look at it, the club clearly, or Arteta never wanted Xhaka to stay. It's more Xhaka forcing out the boat. So were we ready, or were we ever assessing targets? Did we kind of not want to accept Xhaka hasn't left? And thankfully, in Arteta's eyes, he actually hasn't. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate with you guys. I'll leave you lot to decide where that one is, people. What else have we got? What is underwhelming is that Odegaard is not enough. Right back was a priority and it will cripple us this year. Bro, I'm at the point now where I hear you, I agree, but I'm accepting it now, bro. Like, not even I'm accepting the nonsense. It's like, bro, I can't keep getting mad about a right back. If you're telling me Bellerin needs to leave, this needs to happen before we even contemplate getting a right back, what am I going to sit here foaming at the mouth? Okay, cool. I want a right back. You don't want to bring in a right back. Show me that there's no reason for a right back and I'll shut my mouth about it. It's crazy, man. Even though I was hoping to see more from Martin Odegaard during his loan spell, I'm happy with us getting him at a much lower rate than Maddison, which could now hopefully accommodate AOUAR as well. We definitely need more Banky. Can't say anything else. 100%. Fact. Gabriel's injured. He's in rehab. He's expected to return to training soon, but yeah, he's injured, man. Soon back, but is where it is, man. BG, how are you, bro? With the Odegaard price tag, we can get another 2 players still. It's good business considering what Odegaard could have cost us. I think it's good business. I think it is. You know, what some fans just need to be of that belief. We would have loved Maddison. Odegaard's a good signing. It don't have to be this clicky business like they do, like Arsenal fans do. I find it quite weird. We had Wilshere versus Ramsey crew. I'm sure there's, you know, there's many others. You can't, it just feels, the best example is probably Man United, Rashford versus Martial fans. It just feels in football, you can't like two players, or you can't give with one. You've always got to give with one and take from another, sort of thing. Like with you seeing the two players behind, man. So is what is. Pack, morning to you as well, man. You must have just come in with me on crud. Moving forward, man. I love the dedication you lot have to always being here. You lot aren't here, there's an issue. Exactly, Bruno, Pogba as well. These sort of things. You know, you can think Maddison is clear or Odegaard's here. I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. Appreciate that. Go and check out Ryan LFC. You know, he clearly knows how to find good YouTubers, doesn't know how to find good clubs, but he makes good content and he's a yard man. So do up his one, people. Please go and open up another tab. Love for that. Love for the praise, you lot. 40k. I mean, I'll probably sit there and consider it. But right now, we need to keep going, man. DG, you could play attacking midfielder for us. We need no Odegaard. Nah, not attacking mid. When you lot are saying I can't create, no. I'm just a humble right back, man. Humble fullback, if that. I watched your content since last winter, and it was the best free content apart from Curtis Shaw. One love to Curtis Shaw as well. Please stop spamming though. Big up DG. Something that frustrates me is the fact that we don't look up for our games. There's no hunger and ruthlessness. What would you say that comes down to, bro? I don't feel that comes down to the manager, but at the same time, I also feel you can't, like, as a manager, I can't. But you're playing Premier League football. You're in a team that finished 8th. You're playing for Arsenal. I think there's many things that Wenger, Emre, Arteta, if you want to include Lombard, if he can't get this out of certain man either they haven't got it or they don't want to have it or they're not built for this. There's some footballers, they're not built for top level stuff. Like, they're just built to play for teams where you're just existing and playing well. You know, how many times do you hear quality players actually don't like playing in big games? And for me, it's about the accountability. If you can't handle the scrutinization, go elsewhere. But saying that, this probably looks like the club to be, because, Christian, all of us can have the criticism, but in that bubble, man are being told that they're playing well. People are being rewarded for failures and things like that. It's kind of gazy, man. Gabriel's very raw, but you know, we can't not sign these players and not expect them to be raw, you know. There's many elegance. Odegaard is very raw, slightly more polished, but he's raw. Lokonga's raw. Gabriel's raw. Ben White might have a solid footing, but he's still very raw in many things he's doing, you know. Ramsdale is going to be experienced, but these lot are still raw. There's what they're talked about as being in the future. There's where they are. What's the active building steps to go in there? Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day, but we, like with the club, with the players, we need to see scaffolding. We need to see materials delivered. We need to see several things going on. It's one of them ones, in my opinion, but whether we'll see that is another thing. And it's obviously down to the players as well, of course. You are going to look your age in Obba's case if you're chasing down fullbacks and whatnot. You are, man. Holding would have served us better at Brentford, probably, but Holding struggles in the air as well. So he might have looked, you know, I think you could have done with Holding. I think definitely Aubameyang and Lacazette would have made a difference. But there's been games we've put in performances similar to the Brentford one, and they've all been about. You know, it's always the players that aren't involved. Like for me, I think if we have Xhaka and David Luiz against Villarreal, I think we go through. But the fact is they weren't there. And the fact is there's been times where both of them have been there and we've been on a joke. So the mentality needs to be arrested collectively throughout the whole side, in my humble opinion. But what do I know? I think with Rodgers, that's what I think might happen to Arteta, you know, bro, in that Liverpool, it didn't work out for Rodgers. But I think them lessons he learned and now helping him with what he's doing at Leicester and what they're trying to kick on. And that's how what I'm feeling is going to happen with Arteta. How he's dealt with Mesut, how he's dealt with Saliba, Guendouzi, all of these many little talking points, Aubameyang, that might benefit him elsewhere. And, you know, in general with Arteta and the things that's going on, that's one thing that scares me. Not that he'll go off and be a great manager anywhere. That's what he's doing. It's the fact is, I don't want you to learn your lessons, do your apprenticeship, make your mistakes. Like if you're a chef, you're cutting up your hand and then you leave and suddenly you're getting Michelin stars and, you know, like Salt Bay, everybody's taking pictures with you and stuff. I want us to see the fruits of our labor because it feels like Arsenal, with the players, we plant some lovely mango trees, we look after it, we nurture it. When it's time to harvest, we don't see the fruits of our labor. You know, we're just working hard for no reason or doing things for no reason. But I don't know, man. I really don't. Really don't have a clue. Big up DG. 3-4-3 only work because of Luiz. Who would you have as the central of the three? Ooh, Jay, that's a good question. You know, if everybody's fit, oof. It's a bit of a sticky one, bro. I don't know, you know. Like, I'm trying to think what. You might have to do a little Tierney left-sided, Ben White in the middle. Nah, Tierney left-sided, Gabriel central, Ben White on the right. Or you might have to go with Tierney, Ben White holding, or something like that. It's a techie one still. Techie one. I wouldn't want to go with three left footers in Marie, Tierney, and whatever. Of course, you can move Tierney out of there. You know, part of me wants Tierney there. I'll probably bring Saka to play left wing back, or actually Tavares. It's a sticky one. Sticky one. If it was Chelsea tomorrow and everybody was fit and I'm the gaffer. Good question, Jay, man. Bloody hell, why didn't you save that? Members, make sure you're checking out the community tab for the Q&A as well. Why didn't you save that for the Q&A, man, Jay? I need a better question for the Q&A for that. But if it was Chelsea tomorrow and I'm the manager and my job's on the line and everybody's fit, you know what? Ben White, Gabriel, probably holding. Just so Tierney plays left wing back. The thing is, Tierney will play in the back three for me, but it's like you said, the central centre back and then the right hand side, it starts to get a bit gazy and political and all of these things. To be fair, Holding's decent in the air, not when he's defending, like when he let with Jota and Sterling, but probably have to drop out Gabriel, if I'm completely honest, you know. Techie one, still techie one. Great question, bro. Great question, man. A man said, large up, large up yourself, bro. Large up on yourself, bro. Appreciate that. Hope you're good. Congratulations on 40k. Soon reach 50. Been here since Winchmore. Come on, my guy. Winchmore Warriors and that. Big up to everyone who went Winchmore. You know, I don't know how I survived not getting kicked out. You know, fuck Miss Hurst, fuck Miss Manbridge. What other teachers didn't I like? All of them really. But anyways, man, you said, do you think Martin Odegaard is the club showing a lack of ambition / easy option? I think we've got to be a bit real. The Maddison thing, we needed a lot, and obviously Arsenal aren't going to do that. So you could say, yeah, but on the other hand, bro, if we've got limited finances, if we need to watch our pennies, if we really do believe Odegaard's the guy, then it is what it is. I do think certain other clubs do sign Odegaard. They're hearing this smart business and all of these things. Great questions, though, man. Difficult questions. We need a right back, but why isn't Cedric playing? Bro, you need to call Arteta. I don't know what's going on with bare people, man. Obviously, we miss Laka and Aubameyang. We miss both of them. We miss either role, man. It's an issue, man. My man hated all teachers. I didn't hate all teachers, just the teachers. He didn't like me, innit? Bit rough around the edges. Do you think Liverpool can win the league this year? My favourites are probably City and Chelsea, but I would say why not? Pardon me. I was thinking of White as the middle one, but then it's like on the right-hand side, who do you put there? Do you go with Holding? I'm not really, you know, you could bring in Chambers and whatnot. It's a techie one, man. We do need a Mertesacker region with a bit of pace. Bro, when's the next Football Manager? Can't wait. Bro, the Lex episode, I actually haven't, I might upload it today. Should we play today? No, we'll play tomorrow. I'll play at some point tomorrow. Oh, I don't know. Between now and Sunday, just keep posted and follow on Twitch. I'll give you all the information. We'll run that again, man. Every Premiership game is a big game, 100%. Fact. Going to the game Sunday, buzzing, can't wait. Theo, do your thing. I hope the boys give you a fantastic performance. I hope you enjoy it and things like that, man. Sean has said, appreciate that. Great show. Players need to take responsibility as well, have pride in the shirt. Exactly. As I was saying earlier, though, Sean, I've gone away from the pride in the shirt thing. I want to see pride in themselves, man. If you got pride in yourself, everything takes care of itself, man. But I don't really know, man. Bro, it's really hard to think, you know. Some men are saying Gabriel central, White, Holding probably. Holding could be a way to save it. You've got your Ben White, you've got your Gabriel, you bring in Tierney. It's a good one. It's a good question, man. TW, like I said, I need to see a better question asked because, you know, you set yourself a good one there, man. I might, you know, Holding's probably the best in the air, and he's probably the weakest when you pull him into wide areas in comparison to Gabriel and Ben White. So you probably marry him there. You could have Pablo Mari on the basis of his experience, and you kind of hide his deficiencies as much as you could say that. You could, you know, like Toby's actually said, you could go with that. Holding on the right, on the left-hand side, like in when he plays a back four, gives you a lot of balance. It's an interesting one, man. He does work well in the back three. Half the team look better in the back three. A man said Ben White is not tall enough to be a centre back for Arsenal. He'll be bullied. I mean, he's done it for Bielsa. I know he's played right back, but he's done it at Bielsa. He's done it for Brighton. He's been called up for England because of his adaptability elsewhere. End of the day, he's a Premier League footballer. And Don White, he's just gonna have to prove you wrong, innit, man? He's just gonna have to prove you wrong. You've got White playing in the back three. Why don't Arsenal pay the money for Maddis? It's too much peas, bro. It's gone. We need Maddison, not Odegaard. We're going to have to deal with what we've got now, innit, really? Big up, Derek. Congrats, you're reaching 40K, 50K incoming. Come on. Hopefully, man. Would love to see me and Curtis Shaw on 50, 100K and all of those sort of things. Shout out Curtis as well, man. Just clicked in. What are you thinking for the game this weekend? I don't think we'll get a win, a draw, maybe. I'll preview the game tomorrow / Friday / maybe even Saturday. But so I haven't really thought about it for obvious reasons. But what can I say? I need to see fight. Or it's Gazy. Like, I need to see fight. I need to see some hunger. I need to see some desire. I'm never going to be confident with the way we're playing and playing Chelsea with their attackers, with their manager, and where they're at. But, boy, it's Gazy, man. It's Gazy. I don't know what's up with Bellerin. Bellerin's adamant he wants to leave. We're adamant he needs to cut, man. Do you think our spending is over? Well, we actually haven't confirmed the signing of Odegaard and Ramsdale. When all of them signings are brought in, I don't have a clue, but I would say we're getting near to it. Maybe situations can develop and certain things can happen and stuff. You never know, but I would say it probably is. But I don't work for the club. I don't know, man. I love Odegaard. He's just a bit too left-footed with his movement. Bro, all them left-footed people are weird, man. They're very left-footed. Are you going to the game, my guy? Unfortunately not. You know, I was going to buy the ticket and then we lost our last game and I'm just not motivated, man. I'm just not motivated to depart with 90 quid. Like I said, for me, I have no problem spending money on Arsenal. I love it. But it's like, I put myself back in them shoes. I'm like, you know what? Match day, Uber, train, Nando's, booze, a couple other things we can't talk about, programs, all of that stuff, ticket, all of that stuff. And then that feeling of, when I'm just seeing nonsense on the field, it don't leave a good taste in my mouth. Pause, man. What do you think about possible buying AOUAR 2? As I keep saying, would love to sign AOUAR, but I can't see it, man. Chase Gold, boy. Is what it is. All right, do you know what? Mr. Thompson was cool, Jay. He was just a bit of a funny man. Like he was just weird, man. Like he'd make us stand on the tables and sing the poems and stuff like that. But they're using his microphone in the class. Thompson was cool though, man. Shout out Mr. Woodward as well, man. There's a couple cool guys there still. Gabriel is good at everything. White isn't. Taller, quicker, heading, and more athletic. They'll complement each other. Oh, the heading. They're both good at it. I don't think White is dead at it. Big up Doggy Fresh. Arteta made Pepe two-footed. I feel like he'll do the same with Odegaard. Ooh, I don't think he's made him two-footed, but I hear that, man. Me neither, DG. I'm not motivated to turn up and watch us get smacked. Don't want to boo my club in the stands. You know what it is? For me, I'm one of them. When the game's done, I'll just sit there. When everyone's trying to leave, I'll just sit there. I'll just sit there and deep it. I'm like, raw, like. Because do you know what it is for me? Like, there's one thing speaking about it with you lot. There's one thing watching it on TV. But when you're actually there, and you see certain things, it scars you. Like, I'm getting so many Emirates flashbacks. Like the one that always comes back is Zaha with his tongue out, running up and down. The Brightons, the Southamptons, the Xhaka incident. It just, I don't know how to describe it. It's like you're just there. It's like, raw, like this is really what you man are on. Like, really, like that's really what happened. Like, that's a mad one. That's how I feel, and I can't articulate it at all. Good morning, DG. Active as always. Yeah, you know, you can't be going anywhere. I don't know about that. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I was talking about my inhaler, bro. Oh, man. Arsenal need to drop them prices for real. I'm a lefty, and I've always been useless with my right hand / foot. You're left. I'm left-right. Left-handed, right-footed. Really don't like doing things by the book. Emirates flashbacks 100%, bro. 100%. Like they're all filtering back. Filtering. I remember versus Bayern in the Champions League. Missed my train, so turned up late, and Oz had missed a penalty already. Then we got cooked. White wasn't brought for his aerial ability. He was brought for his ability to bring the ball out and his passing ability, boy. I wouldn't say Onana's a missed opportunity. Arsenal leaving you 100%. They've left me speechless. Bare times, bro. Bare times. There's just some things I can't word it. Like, you have to be there, and I know you all know what I'm talking about. Like, you don't even have to be there. You have to watch it, but it's just there. You're just like, wow, like this is really what we're doing. Wow. Serious question, bro. What do you think of St. Maximin from Newcastle? Wavy baller. Probably would not pay what they asked for him. Man, are on me. When's the next Football Manager episode? You know what? You lot on me. The last episode I did, if he wasn't on Twitch, I'll drop it. And then the next episode, you're going to have to stay with me, man. Because obviously, time is of the efforts, man. Interesting comments, man. You lot are saying some very interesting tactical comments, man. You lot made it. Time is flying, but we've been here for 2 hours. Wavy. Make sure we're hitting that like button, people. Tavares, White, Lokonga, Odegaard, Ramsdale is 5 players enough to call it an overhaul. It can't be you can, it all depends, but I would say it's not an overhaul purely because, bro, you ain't got rid of no one of significance. Bro, we used to be flushed with creativity, Mavro. We used to beg Pep got, man said Pep. We used to beg Wenger, to say no more creativity. We don't need another one. It's crazy, man. DJ, always wondered how that works, because they say if you're lefty, you use the right side of your brain and vice versa. Maybe you got access to both. Maybe. But I don't. If I did, I'd be putting that to work and getting 100k subs and all of those sort of things, man. Why don't we play Cedric? You're going to have to ask Mikel Arteta, man. I don't know. Appreciate that, Lionheart Fitness. Love your channel and your insight in football. But do you think this Arsenal signing was a cheaper option? I'm seriously not excited about it. It's underwhelming because we've seen him in the shirt. Think it's a good signing. Clearly, we need to look at the fact that we're broke and struggling, and there's some truth within that. So, yeah, man, you're right. Why are we struggling now with creativity? You have to ask Mikel Arteta because it's on him, man. Man said, would you give Saka to Chelsea for free if it meant you won the league this year? Anyways. I hear, Ben White can make us a better offensively, and I believe that, Peppa Pig, but I can't lie. I want the plaudits for Ben White for me, first and foremost, just me as my opinion. I want to praise you first and foremost for what you're doing as a defender, because that's the same stuff I'm praising with Luis playing out from the back and all other issues. But saying that, defensive system, much like our attacking system, it's on Arteta, man. You're definitely not the first subscriber from Nigeria. Nonetheless, big up yourself. I appreciate you. The Nigerians are always here supporting the things. I can't do them dirty and give you that right. But shout out you, man. Left-handed, right-footed gang. Come on. It's a way of life not everyone can be a part of, man. Do you think Odegaard would have got number 10 if the deal was done sooner? Probably, probably. But then again, Arteta's asked for it. Arteta is being backed, not to the standard, but he's being backed. He's definitely had more, not that there's a big pool to pick from, but he's definitely had more authority than anyone post Arsene Wenger. So with great power comes great responsibility, needs to come great results and things like that. One love to Jason. Big up yourself, DG. Arsenal's transfer dealing is just too frustrating. We're going to long it out like last season and panic buy on deadline day. I hope that's not the case, man. I really do. Appreciate Martial FC. Appreciate all the Luton ones locked in as well, man. Appreciate that. Last question. Who would you prefer of the two if they were for a smart price? Maddis or Odegaard? Maddis for what it's worth. Like, I'm happy with either one. Literally either or. Neither are Messi or Ronaldo, and I'm not saying that. I'd prefer Messi, but if you give me Ronaldo, it is what it is. Like, it's calm. Like, I would have preferred Maddison just because with my fan hat on, it would get raw. Arsenal got Maddison. Mad thing. It's going everywhere. Odegaard, this ain't selling too many papers. This ain't getting the most YouTube views and things on everybody's streams. But we needed either one, man. So I'm happy with it, man. You know, last question for real, though. What do you make of the way we flopped back and forth with potential signings? Like day one, we're linked. Next day, it's squashed. The next, you know what? I can't focus too much on rumors because rumors and what the club is actually doing is an issue. For me, it started off very fast in terms of, you know, we Saliba loaned very quickly. Guendouzi dealt with. Mavropanos dealt with. You know, we was bringing in the Lokongas and these things, or the moves were progression. So I thought there was going to be an active step. There was always going to be a slow down move. You know, there was always going to be a slowdown in movement and things like that. But it weren't. I was a bit more hopeful. And obviously, them times there, Xhaka was going to leave. So I was thinking, you know what? This is a chance to revamp the midfield. And you've obviously seen how the script has played out, man. Appreciate you, Jay, man. You know, any agents, scouts, anyone who wants to mess with the guy, shout me in it. I'm trying to, you know, YouTube's great and all, but life ain't changing to the scale I need it to. But I hope you have a blessed day. I hope everyone's blessed. Like I said, I'm going to be back again at 3 p.m. UK time. Unfortunately, if you're not in the UK, I don't know what time that would be in your time zone, but just do the math, man. Really and truly, just do the maths and I'll be here. Nothing to justify him being backed. I think that's wrong. I don't think, you know, I actually think Arteta is being backed to a slight degree. He's not being given proper players, but he is kind of being backed. And them excuses are running thin. Whether he's being backed or not, you knew the role you signed up for. You knew what was what when you signed. As much as I don't agree with what's above him, I think, you know, many truths can live in one realm. But once again, people, one love for all the support you lot give me. One love for getting me to 40k subs. Let's keep moving to 50 and them things there, people. And on that note, as I said, check out the pin message. I'll be back again at 3 p.m. We go again, people. Keep all your Arsenal stuff and everything posted until then. We go again. But for now...
Against this right back, Charlie.